All right. We are good to go. I'll move this actually. All right, we are live. See how many people we have online. Okay, there's this one here. Okay, this covers it up. Okay, that's better. Okay, we are in. We are in. Can y'all hear me? And also, you can also, can you guys hear 9/11 revision as well? You want to say some?
Good evening. Hello, everybody.
Yeah.
Or good morning.
All right. Can y'all hear us? And here's the setup here. We have the chat on the left. We have my face there, and then we have the screen here. Okay, hearing you. Can you hear 9/11 revisionist as well? All right. Okay, how many people we have? We have 12 people. This thing's not updating though. Let's update. Let's refresh this. Okay, so we have 12 people. We're getting okay, both of you, epic stuff. Okay, so we are good. And how many people should we wait for? Okay, it's not showing anything. So it still says 0. 14 people on the other side. I'll try to open this stuff. Okay, Timothy Sullivan's in the house. Let's go. We have the first super chat. Okay, sounds good. The Marcus Areolas. All right, these names are just unreal. Okay, I'm gonna. Okay, I think everything's fine. Okay, and let's continue in our journey. I'm gonna click on. Okay, here. Okay, as always, the stream notes. I'm gonna update this quickly. Okay, guys, as always, the stream notes is gonna be here. And now if I edit this, you guys can see my screen. Everything fine, everyone. And refresh this. Okay, so we have that. And then as always, guys, go to MES Links, click a bunch of stuff, and yeah, and then become a super fan. I'll put the super fan stuff here. Become a super fan, you get $15 a month. You pay Canadian, and then you get a bunch of emojis and loyalty badge. And some other stuff. And you get social media. I'll follow your social media. Anyways, go to where's the truth one here? Okay. So we have this set up, and also to follow the Telegram. All this stuff I put in Telegram first, and let's see, where's my Telegram? Okay. All right. And I put there first just for because it's really quick and easy to organize and everything. And then the next setup is I think we have 12 people still. It's all good. And then also, guys, on April 13th. So in how many weeks is that? Not next week, the week after, because next week I'm gonna do a solar eclipse emergency live stream, and then so the week after, April 13th, live stream with That's Life, but not as you know it, guys. That's gonna be epic stuff here, so you can follow this stuff. And yeah, so that's my little housekeeping stuff. And now, yeah, so today's live stream we're gonna be discussing toasted cars and mystery planes with 9/11 revisionist. He's a usual on this channel. And so he'll be covering the toasted cars. He has a presentation, and I have a link to the presentation right here. Oh, Methyl Miner's in the house. Hello. All right, so here's a link to the presentation right here, and you can click it, and you'll see all of his stuff that he'll be covering be in here. So, and then you can tell us here. Tell them what pages Dr. Judy Wood's book, chapter 11, etc. I got to shrink this one. Okay, so it's anyways like this. And yeah, so this is a link. You could see it, and he's going to be covering it anyways. Without further ado, so 9/11 revisionist. Yeah, if you want to take it from here and just say hi to everybody. Hopefully everyone's doing good, and especially it's Easter Saturday. All right. So yeah.
Hi, everybody. Okay, so let's get my share screen on. MES, if you can just stop sharing your screen on Skype.
Yeah, so I will stop sharing. And also, guys, if you guys have any audio issues or let us know, or just let me know in the chat, then I'll let him know. And then, so when he's presenting, I could probably cover my face when he's presenting. Okay. So I'm going to hide my face. Oh, I could hear some stuff.
Okay, so you guys can see my screen?
Okay. Hi, 9/11 versus Methyl Miner saying, yeah, can you guys see a screen? Everything's fine? I can see it.
Okay, cool.
I hear some audio in the back. Was that yours or?
Most probably, I've got a fan going. It's a little hot here in South Africa, so we need to cool down.
Okay. And guys, let me know if you guys want to have this here or you want to make it bigger. I can make it cover everything. And my face too. I'll cover my face. So put Webcam at the bottom. No, here. Display capture. No, that's above. All right. I see it. Angie Coulter says everyone can see it. Okay, guys, we are good to go. And if you guys want to see my face or hide it when he's presenting, let me know. And yeah, so you can do stuff. Anyways, I'm just gonna be playing around with whatever I think is best. All right. I think
Okay.
everybody can see it.
Are we good to go?
I think we are. Yeah, everyone can see everything.
Okay, firstly, so what everybody needs to know and needs to do is they need to get this book, Where Did the Towers Go, by Dr. Judy Wood. This is basically her work that we are discussing. She has a whole chapter, 11 pages, 213 to 246 on the toasted cars. So we'll go into some of that. We'll be showing some videos and pictures. But if you want a deep dive, you really need to go and study chapter 11 because I can't go into as much detail as she has. So also, if you want, you can come and check out my Substack. This is on substack.com/revision. I've got close to 70 articles going through a bunch of different aspects on 9/11. Also, once again, based on Dr. Wood, and then my interactions with the 9/11 Truther movement, like the 9/11 War Room that we've now dubbed the Playroom. I've gone after the people from TAP, Truth Action Project, and we will be going through the psychology of resistance to truth a little bit later at the end of the discussion. So there's something important that I need to just bring under your attention, because last time when we were doing the Building 7 stream, the first video that we were listening to, we didn't have the audio on, but it's very important to listen to this. So I want to revisit it real quick and point out certain things that you guys didn't hear in the live stream last time. So let's just quickly jump into that real quick.
Last explosion was something that was
I want to make sure that we don't have the same problem we had last time. MES, what are the people saying?
I'd mute it. Can you guys hear the thing? Can you guys hear his audio? I can hear it. His computer audio. All right, and I'll try to make the chat even bigger. So I think to do that, I gotta do this. All right. Oh, there's analytics. Okay. I think they can hear it. Can you guys hear it? Yeah. Methyl Miner says yes.
Okay. Super. So this is basically around about 11 o'clock on 9/11. There you can still see Building 7 standing. You've got smoke and stuff coming out here that they are going to be talking about, and that is basically Building 6. Now, people who are proponents of the nuke theory, some of them say there were multiple nukes all over the show that affected Building 3, 4, 5, and 6. Unfortunately, this is Building 6 dustifying as well, with a big, massive hole that was in the middle. When we are going to be listening to this video, you'll also be hearing various explosions going off, and in my opinion, I would say it is the cars in the streets that were popping off. In this street next to Building 7, you had a bunch of cars that were completely toasted and fried, and that's also where the strange bus was located. We'll look at pictures of the bus in a bit. So let's quickly just go through this video.
Activity and sirens and more smoke rising from the ground, new smoke. So there was some kind of additional explosion, but I don't know what it was. Definitely. Smoke was rising from the ground. Maybe it was a federal building or something like that. Okay, sweetie, I'll call you later. 11 o'clock.
I want to point out again, as I did previously, this bridge over here, this is basically till where the dust cloud came all the way till here, and then everything just went up into the air. And that's very, very strange, because when you've got a normal controlled demolition, you've got the dust cloud being spread out, and then everything falls to the ground. It doesn't waft up into the air.
Still hear continuing explosions, but I don't know what it is. A lot of smoke.
Once again, that black smoke over there, that is basically from building 6, in my opinion. And then also you've got the different colored clouds coming from the rubble pile at ground zero, and that is the rest of the steel and everything still going through a transmutation process. Once again, over there you can see some that is most probably from the cars in the streets as well.
Bridge closed. See pedestrians fleeing to Brooklyn. Some emergency service vehicles heading away from the World Trade Center. People milling around the street.
And over here in the section where you can see the burning car, that is the toasted car park, which we will be discussing in a short little while. Very, very important little car park over here.
Looks like a fire. Maybe a car on fire.
There you see cars. A huge amount of cars over here were completely and utterly toasted, and this is the smoke coming out from those toasted vehicles in the car park.
It's another explosion.
More cars. Yeah, so that's basically that, and then you can go, and then obviously we had the 2-hour discussion with regards to Building 7. Let's just close that up over there. And you can also go read my article on the toasted cars, because this is basically what we will be going through today, with all the points showing when the towers went down. The car park over there, that is what we will be discussing in depth. And yeah, so just go check out my Substack if you haven't yet. There is a bunch of nice articles that you can go and read to get your head around all the information that we will be sharing today. And let me just quickly see here. Okay. Now this is the field effects aspect, and we need to go through this video real quick. Also, in this article, you've got an interview with Dr. Wood and Andrew Johnson, and then the second day when they went to the radio station, you had John Hutchinson sharing some information as well. He called in. Something to note, after the interview series, the host was fired, and then a short while later he died suspiciously. So just keep that in mind. In the early days, anybody who was linked closely with Dr. Wood met their demise in very, very suspect ways.
Well,
So,
that's amazing.
Yeah.
I never heard about that before, that he died suspiciously and fired right after.
yeah. Okay, so let's quickly listen to how the field effects works.
To understand how Tesla's technology was weaponized, we have to understand two main points of Tesla's experiments and research. And that is his experiments in vibration and resonance and his experimentation with scalar wave technology.
Nikola Tesla demonstrated the importance of electrostatic fields, but he also understood how to utilize magnetic fields.
The Earth itself is a giant magnet. Researchers today believe that magnetism comes from currents in the liquid metals in the Earth's core.
There was a spike in the Earth's magnetic field for every event on 9/11.
The first one is WTC-1 getting an airplane-shaped hole.
It seems this would include the Pentagon event and Shanksville.
If you look at 10:03 to 10:06, which is two official times that they mention in the official story, but I also was able to plot the fluctuations in the magnetometer data. At 10:03 there's a fluctuation, and 10:06 is where it dips.
Let's look at the weather that day.
To the east in the country, no problems except down in Florida, a little rain. Northeast, we'll see little rough seas along the New England coastline from that hurricane that's going away. That hurricane.
There was a big hurricane on the morning of 9/11 just off the coast of New York.
When you look at the data for Hurricane Aaron, this is clear evidence of weather modification, pointing out that Aaron went in a straight line for 4 days towards New York City, and then it stopped 5 miles off the coast on 9/11, becoming the closest to the East Coast on that day and covering a wider area.
The wind speed, the air pressure, and the location were pretty much constant for 24 hours surrounding the events of 9/11. A controlled environment is what it looks like, but
There's a strong possibility the effects of the storm would have reached as far as Pennsylvania, Virginia, and Washington, D.C.
JFK Airport, LaGuardia, and Newark airports all reported thunder on 9/11.
So the fact that all of the events took place on the East Coast might actually be of huge significance.
That says there were field effects there.
Despite all of this, there was very minimal news coverage.
It is beautiful outside.
New York City, beautiful day.
Perfect September day.
This is a real cold front, folks. That means it's a boundary line of the very cool, dry air, and it is going to make its way well offshore, help to push Hurricane Aaron up to the north. It's not going to affect us at all.
Rough seas still from the chop from that hurricane, but other than that, it's kind of quiet around the country. We like quiet. It's quiet. It's too quiet. Too quiet. Too quiet. Too quiet.
the water that had been real smooth in the bay right beforehand had gotten real choppy with all the movement.
You see, hurricanes are very similar to Tesla coils in the sense they build up a static field.
Hurricane, it's like a giant Tesla coil. And it does indeed produce a static field around it.
Which is exactly what was happening in New York City the night before September 11th. Here's some stills from a video taken the night before 9/11. You can see a static field was present. I believe Hurricane Aaron was a Category 3 by this point.
Here's the satellite radar picture showing the rain that moved offshore thanks to the cold front. And that cold front, it's a true cold front. This day is going to be beautiful, and it takes a while, really, for the cool and dry air to move in. So tomorrow morning should be a couple degrees cooler.
What could have created this strange cloud around the buildings? Was it Osama bin Laden? This is about 12 hours before the attacks.
Yeah, a little lightning out there too. Some good downpours. Not everyone received the rain yesterday. It was scattered, as we mentioned yesterday, but in a few cases it did really come down.
I've come to learn that dry air can act as a sort of capacitor. A capacitor holds an electric charge.
Nothing but dry skies.
Comfortably dry, with cool, dry air mass move in overnight.
Very cool, dry air.
Dry weather all the way into the weekend.
Right now, the DoD's talking about using the spectrum as a warfare domain.
Can I ask you a question about some of the technology that you're developing to fight the war on terror, specifically directed energy and high-powered microwave technology? When do you envision that you can weaponize that type of technology?
Goodness. It is in, for the most part, the kinds of things you're talking about are in varying early stages.
By 1962, the Department of Defense began weaponizing lasers as part of an arsenal that would come to be known as directed energy weapons.
There's hot directed energy weapon systems and there's cold ones.
Do you want to have anything you'd add?
I don't think I would add much. I think they are in early stages and probably not ready for employment at this point.
Like the electric discharge laser tested by the Army in 1983. The active denial system declassified in 2001, and Zeus, an anti-landmine laser deployed to Afghanistan in 2003.
In the normal order of things, when you invest in research and development and begin a developmental project, you don't have any intention or expectations that one would use it. On the other hand, the real world intervenes from time to time, and you reach in there and take something out that is still in a developmental stage, and you might use it.
Gone. Twin Trade Towers are fucking gone.
We have low heat, unburned paper, low seismic impact, minimal debris, bathtub survives. Material-specific effects, toasted cars at a distance, tritium without ionizing radiation. Doesn't have ionizing radiation. There's really only one thing that fits the bill.
Gone. Twin Trade Towers fucking gone.
You sound like you're willing to experiment with it.
I think that's the point, and I think, and we have, I think, from the beginning of this conflict, I think General Franks has been very open to looking at new things if there are new things available, and has been willing to put them into the fight even before they've been fully wrung out. And I think that's not referring to these two particular cases of directed energy or high-powered microwave, but sure.
In 2007, there was a hearing to determine some of the illnesses caused during the Gulf War. According to the Veterans Affairs Committee, electromagnetic weapons were used, including high-powered microwaves. And the committee asked if some of these waves could have contributed to the illnesses. This took place in 1991. You see, these weapons have been around for quite some time now, and all of us are capable of understanding them.
Only an alert and knowledgeable citizenry.
Maybe all of us, being confused together, can come up with answers to formulate a future that we can all enjoy.
You see, they've lied about everything. The war on terror, the so-called opioid crisis, the last 16 years of ongoing war in Afghanistan.
Every single bit of it is absolute, total crap.
Climate change, global warming. If any of these things were legitimate problems, we have the technology and the means to fix it, but they choose not to. Why?
A scientific, technological elite.
The corporations in charge of security rapidly responded to assist a number of their customers near Ground Zero in New York City and Washington, D.C. SAIC, or Leidos, are members of a club that we're not invited to. The Directed Energy Professional Society. This includes some very well-known government contractors, as well as some not-so-well-known contractors.
NIST produced 10,000 pages of technical reports about the destruction of the World Trade Center, right? Two companies that were involved in the production of those reports are Science Applications International Corporation and Applied Research Associates.
When Dr. Judy Wood filed her Keaton case against these corporations, she was suing them for taking American tax dollars and providing the government and the people with fraudulent science and inaccurate data. She filed with a signed affidavit from John Hutchison, pointing out the many conflicts of interest between the work of these companies and the nature of the destruction.
There is a very definite connection between what happened on 9/11 and what happened with John Hutchison's in John Hutchison's experiments. And again, it's to do with this underlying energy, some type of zero-point energy, some type of energy which is fundamental to the structure of matter.
Known as the Hutchinson effect.
That was one that is really highly controversial.
You know, we do know that people in the military are well aware of what you've been doing. You know, it's not as if you have been working away totally as like a hermit. They're fully aware of what you've been doing.
The U.S. military took an interest.
Well, we did for a while.
Colonel John Alexander was 1983. He came with a team from Los Alamos.
And I had 4 guys from INSCOM, including myself, and 2 from Los Alamos.
So I gave a demonstration for about 4 months working with the team.
To recreate the situation, which they did with John Hutchison. They wrote a scathing report and actually suggested that Tom Bearden, local U.S. guy, had slipped into the country somehow and manipulated it. Had absolutely nothing to do with it. But that was enough to kill, as I couldn't get further funding out.
So John Alexander was a little upset over that, and he brought in another team from McDonnell Douglas to do a clear, not classified report.
But here's one where Jack Houck and McDonnell Douglas came along and supported it.
Then after that, of course, the Canadian government did their experiments and kept it a matter of national security.
The implications of this technology are so amazing, it could help every single person on this planet, but instead, it's been weaponized and classified.
Okay, so in that video, and it's part of Chris Hampton's great documentary, 9/11 Alchemy Facing Reality, that came out in 2018. We have mentioned this. It is available on my Odyssey and my Rumble channels. I've also referenced it in my various Substack articles, so you can get the links there. And the audio of John Hutchinson discussing his work with Andrew Johnson is from this second interview that he had. Now we need to go over an interview with Richard D. Hall and Dr. Judy Wood, where she discussed some of the toasted cars. So we need to quickly listen to that, and then I'll go into more things. The reason that I don't want to basically talk about all of these things is because Dr. Wood has done the work, and it's better to hear from the horse's mouth than hearing secondhand information. So let's quickly just listen to this quick discussion.
Let's talk about the toasted cars, because this is one of the most fascinating things for me.
The most striking area is West Broadway.
Mm-hmm.
It goes past Building 7 and goes north for several blocks. And every car along there was toasted. What I mean by toasted is it's toast, it's history. Not necessarily burning being the cause, just you can't repair it, you have to buy a new one. You have to replace it. All the cars along that road were toasted.
This isn't just one isolated incident. Cars as far away as a quarter of a mile away were getting damaged.
You will see an image of the parking lot with the cars in a normal state, and then the next frame of the video you will see that the cars are still in the parking lot and they've been completely toasted. Right, so they haven't moved. How is this possible? This picture alone proves that the official story is false, and it proves that there are armies of liars and trolls trying to cover up this evidence that I'm showing you now. And these people should be ashamed of themselves.
Where that car park is, there's a sea of unburned paper in between that wasn't ignited.
An example of a dodgy car. Right, we've got a car here that's half damaged and half pristine. If you like put your hand over one half of it, it looks like a new car.
Yep, that's a pretty good picture, and we've got several pictures of that, different angles. And this, I'm pretty sure this is on FDR Drive. This car, which is about half a mile away.
Whatever happened to that car, it shouldn't have happened like that. So if it happened here or it happened underneath the World Trade Center, it wouldn't matter. It's
You make a very good point.
These are the air tanks that the firefighters wear so they can breathe fresh air when they're in a smoky environment. They have extra tanks on their fire trucks. Those extra tanks were said to have been exploding at ground level. That's weird. And there's a lot of testimonies of those. There's one in particular by Rene Davila that is interesting. His boss asked him, was your vehicle destroyed? And he said, yeah, vehicle 219 was destroyed. Was it on fire? What? Was it on fire? Fire, we saw the sucker blow up. We heard a boom. His vehicle blew up.
It appears that there's something in the environment that has had an effect on, particularly on metal objects, basically.
Metal being more easily affected than others, but there's different types of metal that are affected more easily, like the door latches, the trunk lids, the door handles on the cars. Those were pretty easily destroyed quickly.
talk about the toasted cars, because this is one of the most fascinating.
Okay, so in that video, you see this vehicle. Now there, if you start looking at the toasted cars, and there is videos out there where people are talking about, oh, the cars were towed, and that basically debunks the whole idea with regards to toasted cars and all of that. But it's irrelevant whether or not they were towed. And the video that's out there where the guy is talking about this specific vehicle, obviously this one was towed, because this is the official picture where the car was at the first stage. But Dr. Witt goes into great detail with regards to all the differences or the things that happened to this car, things like the rubber not being affected and all of that kind of stuff. So you can see this vehicle was at a specific spot. It was moved once or twice, but that doesn't take away from what happened to the vehicle. So don't let people bugger you up with regards to, some of the cars were towed, because when you get to the toasted car park, you can see for a fact that these cars didn't move anywhere. So yeah, don't let people trip you up with regards to, but some of the cars were towed. Then let's go through the following, because everybody was talking about explosions. Now, everything that goes boom isn't necessarily a bomb. So you can also go through this. This is very, very important, which MES has pointed out. He's combined all 500 PDFs of the firefighters, paramedics, EMT witnesses with regards to what they saw happened, and a lot of it is very, very important. You need to take your time and work through that, because some of the stuff that people saw with regards to the cars was very important, especially with Patricia Odrovic, where she says, as I was running up here the North Park, 2 or 3 more cars exploded on me. They weren't near any buildings at that point. I don't know what was causing them to blow up. I figured it was the impact of the buildings falling and residual effects. I'm not an engineer, so I can only guess at the probable cause. I don't remember feeling any extreme heat. That's very interesting. No extreme heat. I remember parts flying off. I think I got hit by a car door. I remember they were also on fire, but I don't specifically recall the movie-type fireball, but there was a loud bang as the door flew off the one car I was running past. So, and then I go into a bunch of the testimonies with regards to explosions and stuff. But again, just because something goes boom doesn't necessarily mean it is a bomb. I did a second article with regards to booms, and you can also go through this, because people were busy trying to put into words that what they were experiencing and what they were seeing. So if something explodes, you might think it's a bomb, but it's not necessarily a bomb. And we need to go through this EMT's testimony again, because the things that she saw was really, really, really important with regards to all the toasted vehicles. So let's hear firsthand from this lady of what she saw.
Your name is?
Jessica Maldonado.
And where were you and what were you on 9/11, the day of the 9/11 attack?
I was an EMT in New York City. My office was from the Bronx, New York, and I witnessed everything that day. I was on duty that day. And what happened that day was a lot of confusion, a lot of hurt. It was just, it was horrible.
It wasn't what they told us.
It was not what they told us. It was not what was on the media. It was totally opposite.
Totally opposite.
A lot of the stuff that I witnessed was not, was covered by the media. It was not shown. One of the things that I saw was we were helping the firefighters put out a fire 2 blocks away from the buildings. And a bomb squad came and they told us not to go in that block. And we were all like, okay, why? Why won't we go in that block? And we, stood back. As soon as we stood back from that block, the cars were just exploding, just coming up.
Individual, like yes. Each one had bombs in them.
I don't know if it was bombs, but they were exploding up.
Wow.
It looked like someone put bombs under them or something was in it. But how did the bomb squad know to tell us to move away from them,
exactly.
Even before we were going into that block?
Wow.
Yeah.
How many people witnessed this with you?
It was quite a few. It was a group of us. It was at least 10, 15 of us.
And they took pictures?
Yes. They took pictures of the surroundings. They took pictures of a lot of the flames, a lot of the burning building. Right before one of the buildings came down, they took pictures of that. We took pictures with the disposable cameras that we had in our rigs. And we always have a crash kit in each of the in the rigs. And that night, when we were all home or wherever we were at, we got a phone call from our superiors telling us to hand over the disposable cameras. Government officials wanted the cameras. They did not want us to develop any of the pictures that we had. But we kept them. We all have pictures.
God bless you. That experience that affected you to the point you actually quit. What happened?
I did. I quit. I didn't go back to the service. I mean, it wasn't that exactly that made me quit, but it opened my eyes to a lot of the stuff that we see in the media, a lot of the things that the government talks about. The truth, you have to look for the truth. Don't believe what they tell you. Just don't believe what you see out there. You have to see it for yourself.
God bless you. Where do you go to get your news now? What do you do?
Now, sometimes I read up on it, sometimes I just watch the TV, but I don't do much of that. Unless I see it for myself, because I know what they're doing.
I'm trying to. What else? Is there anything else about that day that we should be aware of that have not been told?
A lot of the charities people gave money to. A lot of the like Red Cross and all that. They helped, but not enough. They were just. I mean, the firefighters needed so much help. They still need help. The NYPD still needs help. Sydney still needs help. Why are their funds being cut?
From this experience, who do you think is really responsible for the attacks of 9/11?
I think the government knew all along. The government knew. I'm not too sure who. Like I said, I don't know who to believe, but I know there's something out there that they're not telling us. They're not.
God bless you. I mean, really, for everything you went through and being able to go ahead and still speak the truth, not be afraid to do that, because that's super important. I mean, you're an eyewitness to history. You are a part of it, and listen, and what you have is golden. It should be heard. I want to thank you very much.
Thank you.
And
thank you for your stand.
Thank you. God bless.
Okay, so you can go. This is also very interesting with regards to what the other firefighters and things saw. Tires and cars were popping and they were just starting to light up spontaneously. So how the hell does that happen? Because it's remember when the dust cloud came over the people, they didn't get burned or anything like that. You had all the paper everywhere, but why did the cars just spontaneously pop? And another firefighter, Todd Heaney, we were just putting out the car fires and the rigs were going, ambulances. I mean, there must have been 50 of these things burning heavily. The Scott cylinders and the oxygen cylinders were all letting go. They were all blowing up left and right. Another firefighter, Patrick Sullivan. It was a huge ambulance. It must have had Scott bottles or oxygen bottles on it. they were going off. You would hear the air go boom, and they were exploding. So we stretched a line and tried to put that out. So very, very, very interesting. So let's go over to
9/11. I just wanna chime in. Can you just make your zoom in a tiny bit, like on the article? Just make it a bit bigger when you're reading the text.
Okay.
Just for the next time. Just for next time. For next time. No, okay, not to click it. You could just zoom in. It's just a bit tiny bit small, but it's fine.
Okay, groovy.
Sounds good.
So, Zikar Park. Now, we've got my most favorite guy, Richard Gage, and the way that he tries to explain it is he talks about evidence of high temperatures. Corrosion is observed on about 1,000 cars near the World Trade Center. He also uses pictures that Dr. Wood worked, and he basically tries to say this corrosion occurred on the car tops, yet the paint was usually intact below, consistent with a corrosive cloud settling. Sorry, dude, but you forgot about the people who weren't burned, their hair weren't singed or anything like that. Then if you look at where the car park was, it was so far away, and we'll watch a video shortly with regards to a guy who was pretty much right over there, and those cars weren't affected. So you had this whole massive dust cloud coming over everything and everybody, but they weren't burned, but you had the cars popping. And that's in line with regards to some sort of field effects that you notice with John Hutchinson when he does his boat experiment. And when the gizmo gets switched off, you've got these weird fires breaking out everywhere. And that's the car park after the second tower that went. And you've got various cars all over the show that aren't popping, aren't burning, but it was just various different cars. So if he's got this big cloud causing all of these, with these molten iron microspheres burning everything, so why are all these cars intact? So obviously that means that his whole premise is completely and utterly flawed. And again, here you can see the car park, how selective it basically was. I think because these cars were right next to a steel guardrail or whatever, English is a bit of a problem. That might have been part and parcel with regards to the fact that these cars popped, because these ones weren't close to any other steel. And you can see how completely shot they are, and immediately they start rusting as well. But other cars right next to them, nothing happened to them. And you can see that's on the same day. That doesn't happen that easily. So something weird was happening to the vehicles, and it's not microspheres or whatever that can cause that. So again, you've got the cars that were standing there. They weren't towed anywhere, but you had all these weird effects happen to them. So let's listen to the gentleman that was very close to the towers when they disintegrated, and you will see that the cars and everything close to him aren't affected whatsoever. And in the background, you'll later hear that there's a bunch of alarms going off, and that's the fireman's locator alarms, and we'll discuss that in a bit. But let's quickly just listen to this first section of the disintegration.
I hope I live. I hope I live. It's coming down on me. Here it comes. I'm getting behind a car. It's incredible. Okay, I'm gonna have to go find people who need help, because I don't think I'm one of them. You okay, sir? Okay. Can I just get a toot off your respirator? Yeah. Can I get a toot? I'm just getting a couple of clean breaths. That's good. Okay. Back to you. This is the car I hid behind. It saved my life. Oh, wait, maybe it was this one. There's all these noises. I don't know what it is. They say someone needs help.
Yeah, Mike! Mike! Mike, come over here! Yeah!
Anybody need a doctor?
Where are you?
Don't have oxygen.
Hello, Doc.
Hey, that guy needs some oxygen. If someone can share it with him.
10-4.
Thanks. They told me just to wait here.
So yeah, you heard all those locator alarms going off, and I wrote an article with regards to them. So it's very interesting that the firemen basically disappeared and the locator alarms were left. So very, very stressful with regards to thinking that people just vaporized or disappeared, but the locator alarms that were fixed to them was still there. So please go check out this article as well. Let me just quickly get the other spot here. Now, people who tend to give you the whole idea that you've got the thermite guys, and then you do have the nuke guys who try to give you an answer with regards to the toasted cars, but it's weird. They can't answer it, and especially one gentleman who pushes the nukes. His name is Joe Olson, and he's a good friend of James Fetzer. And Fetzer was a proponent of Dr. Wood, and then later did a 180-degree turn and started attacking her, where he was completely a follower of hers. And he basically said in 2007 how you can go about smearing somebody. So just have a quick listen to this.
Considering how mainstream Webster is regarded by the 9/11 community, to me it seems to me very unfair that Judy should be somehow isolated, and I detect more than a sexism involved here. Well, there are many ways to try.
So yeah, and this is Joe Olson trying to make his nuke theory fit with regards to the toasted cars, and you'll hear his discussion with regards to it. It just doesn't make any sense.
So that's item number one. Item number two, you have this enormous amount of steel on the exterior of the building. When you're doing a nuclear blast inside of the building, you're going to get nuclear rays that come out through, this is what would be called a waveguide, where the nuclear blast that's inside this grid is going to come out in a pattern where it will burn the front of one car and not burn the tires on the back of it, not even blister the paint, because it's coming through a waveguide, which is patterning the on the other buildings, and you can see it on the other buildings, faces of the other buildings. You can see the shadow marks just the same way in Hiroshima. You could see the shadows on the sidewalk where people have been standing when those buildings were vaporized. So that's item number one.
So, Mr. Joe Olson, please explain to me the toasted car park then, because the toasted car park was basically 2 or 3 blocks away. So how can your blast little grid or whatever that you're trying to present actually fit your narrative? It just doesn't make sense. And then we had our little old friend James Fetzer also mentioning the toasted cars. So let's just listen to him before he did his 180.
We don't have anything. Yeah, but what we have are effects that do not appear to be explainable on any other basis than some new kind of high-tech weapon. And notice the ingenuity. Notice the ingenuity in doing this. Yeah, it's the pulverization of the building, the thoroughness of that, but also that gouge in Building 6, the cookie cutter incisions in Building 5, 4 half gone, half intact, 3 of that huge gouge. These are all very strange phenomena. And we have therefore a class of effects that seem to be inexplicable in the government's account or on the conventional explosive account. I just don't see any way they can explain them. Not to mention the toasted cars.
You know, people are going to ask, what about the debris falling off buildings? Couldn't they have made the holes?
Yeah, but you may recall I mentioned in passing, you'd expect that to be a rather random phenomenon. You'd expect similar kinds of damage from all this debris, which was being blown in all directions, yeah. And you expect it to be very similar in the different buildings and that there would be a pattern there, and there is not. What you have are these very distinctive kinds of effects that seem to require a different explanation.
We don't have anything.
Yeah, but
So that was in 2007, okay, and now he's pushing the whole nuke theory, mini nukes and all of that, but he's never explained how the mini nukes work. He can't prove that there are mini nukes available or anything like that. But what he also does is he does confirm some of the information Dr. Wood gives with regards to the dustifying of the towers, but then he tries to fit it to his disinformation or his distraction information with regards to mini nukes, which once again we've discussed in the 4-hour presentation with thermite versus dew, that there was no heat involved whatsoever. So just listen to how disingenuous this Fetzer guy is.
And indeed, look at this. This is an absolutely fantastic photograph. You can see the buildings. This is the North Tower being converted into millions of cubic yards of very fine dust. And Jeremy, there in the foreground, that's Building 7, that 47-story structure that would only come down 7 hours later.
That's, I think, the same photograph that Judy Wood uses on her book, on the cover of her book.
Oh yeah, sure. And I'll talk about Judy. I mean, she when I talk about how it was actually done, yeah, Judy calls this a bubbler. It's a fantastic photograph. Judy also emphasizes here the core columns of the North Tower being subjected to molecular disintegration. So here you can see them turning into dust. This is the final remnant of the North Tower turning into dust. Now, what I'm pointing out here is this is no collapse. This is the utter demolition of these buildings by some very powerful source of energy that cannot possibly have been accomplished by conventional explosives or even by nanothermite, as I'm going to explain here. And indeed, look at this.
So he gives a little bit of nuggets of truth and all of that kind of stuff, but once again, he then tries to muddle up everything, and that isn't conducive to truth. So you've got a lot of these guys out there that take Dr. Wood's work and then they try and spin it into something else, and none of them can debunk anything that's in this book. And the book has been out for 12 years, and nobody can refute any of the evidence that she presents. Now, what happened with old Joe and Fetzer in 2020? Joe Olson did a presentation and it's available on BitChute, where he actually co-opted Dr. Wood's title of a book, and he had a talk with regards to where did the towers go. And I wrote an article in July last year where I went through the controlled demolition of the thermite and nuke theories, and also mentioned the Truth Summit that Elsa Schroeder held, where she got Gage and Andrew Johnson to square off in a panel discussion. And after I went through this whole article, basically discussing the survivors and how they survived, obviously survived, and nothing fell on top of them, showing how stupid Thermite is and how disingenuous Fetzer is, then old Joe ended up jumping into the comments section and basically tried to attack me with his stupid stuff. And you need to go read this article with regards to our interactions via email. You'll find it rather entertaining. So I pointed out a whole bunch of points that Thermite or Nukes can't explain, and he just couldn't come at me with an answer. So please, guys, go read through this article and the points that I put to him, and just see how he completely and utterly fails to discuss any of the points that was raised against him. So now we can move over to a discussion that Dr. Wood had in 2012 with Theo Chalmers that is very, very insightful with regards to the toasted cars. And once again, I can't talk about it that much because Dr. Wood has done the work for us. So let's jump into this real quick.
Okay. All right. I think we need to look at some of the other effects of this technology then that you've identified. Let's go.
Toasted cars.
Let's go to toasted cars. Let's go to image 114 if we can, please. 114. This is. I can't find it on my list here. Yeah, this is a map of the areas of New York where the toasted cars were found. As you can see, they seem to be a hell of a long way from the towers, and those lines around the towers are where the debris fields were. Is that correct?
Yeah, within those zones around the towers where I saw solid material.
Okay, with solid material. So these cars that had these extraordinary effects that seem to defy the laws of physics were in areas where they didn't have the buildings falling on them. Okay, let's look at 118. This is a toasted car.
119?
We'll go to that in a minute. Okay. Let's go them in the right order, eh?
Okay, I was thinking 119 is the map that shows where the cars...
I know, but I just want to do them in the right order, otherwise we can get confused here. So this is a toasted car. This is on... this is some distance.
That's sitting over an FDR Drive.
FDR Drive. Oh, this is on the East River.
Right. We don't know if it was toasted there or if it was carted there. You know, to be precise, we didn't witness that, but we do have cars that were witnessed as going into spontaneous combustion.
Okay. Well, let's look at 119 then. This is a map of Lower Manhattan. With the site of the World Trade Center is on the left. And the toasted cars, there's a big car park full of them way up on the top left. And there were lots of them under a flyover, an
on the East
overpass,
River,
as you call it, on the East River, way over on the East River, blocks away.
There was a fellow, Alan Cook, who was standing down there, and suddenly the cars went into spontaneous combustion right before him. He was over by the South Street Seaport. And trying to figure out how to explain it, it must blow people's minds. He rationalized that it must have been a fireball that got loose from the World Trade Center, rolled down the street and hit the car. Because why else would the car go into spontaneous combustion?
Yeah, it does seem somewhat unlikely, doesn't it? So, okay, let's go to the next one. This is 120.
And
this is another map of...
And that long zone at the top in the middle, that's West Broadway. And about every car for about 4 blocks was toasted. The paper wasn't burned. The buildings weren't burned.
The trees weren't burned. There were cars underneath
bushy green trees.
And they weren't singed or...
Right.
And they were like weirdly burnt, weren't they, some of these cars? Some of them, the engines were missing. And
exactly.
Okay, let's go to 121. Let's look at some of the of what happened.
The toasted bus.
The toasted bus. And this, it looks like some of it's melted. I mean, the metal has melted.
What's interesting is you see in the distance, Building 7 is still standing. So you know about what time it is.
Because Building 7 fell at about 5:20 in the afternoon of 9/11.
Was finally, but its final demise.
Not fell. Evaporated and
went away.
Okay.
But notice the car on the very right, on the edge of the picture.
Yeah.
It's rusted.
Yeah, it's rusty, isn't it? Yeah.
Steel doesn't, especially car steel, doesn't rust instantly.
Well,
unless something happens to it.
It's very unlikely, isn't it? Even if it got soaking wet in salt water, in a few hours, it would not go. Well,
it still has some areas of its paint showing, its undercoat, but it's pretty amazing how quickly these vehicles rusted.
Let's look at 122. This is lots more toasted cars.
The photo in the upper right corner, notice the door handle's missing. That was just a pattern I noticed. And also you see the vehicles on the far side of the street with the trunk lid popped open. Car in the middle has the sliding door open. Car on the right, something's weird about its engine underneath the front end. But it seemed to be that the door latches and trunk latches, you call them boots.
Boots, we do call them boots, yes.
Popped. And the car right below that in the bottom right corner, its engine is missing.
The engine is missing, so how did that car get there? This is, you know, this is... And there were several cars, weren't there?
Lots
with the
of them.
engines just gone. But of course, engines are made of iron.
Right.
Largely. Some of them are made of aluminium. I know before you all text in, I know some are. But many are made of iron.
Yeah. And
particularly
more
in America,
concentrated.
where they don't like aluminium engines for some reason.
In the bottom left corner, you see a missing engine, but the car in the picture of the bottom left, but the car on the right side of it, notice the abrupt change between the front end and the door.
And that's where that arrow is pointing to that abrupt change. So it looks like, you know, one half is, I know in your book you say one half is like wax on, wax off.
Yeah.
And the other half is just terminal wreck.
But it gets you thinking about the rubber gasket they put around doors.
Yeah.
As though that's an insulator.
So this is the electrical part of your nuclear, electrical, magnetic...
I'm just noticing this trend that you have this abrupt change on the doors.
In that top left picture, can we just go back to that picture again, 122? In that top left picture, what is that?
I think it used to be a mail truck.
I mean, a building didn't fall on it, did it? And if it did, it was just dust and paper.
Parallelogram kind of thing.
It's extraordinary, isn't it? It is extraordinary.
And the police car that's parked right next to it, you see just the back end's toasted, not the door again.
The front is fine.
Yeah.
So it appears. And let's look at the final picture of toasted cars. We have got, there's plenty more in Judy's book, but let's not go crazy here. Let's look at 1, 2, 3. Now this one.
Unburned paper.
Unburnt paper all over the place. There's green trees there. And the second car back on the right clearly doesn't have an engine. Another car parked in the street. How did it get there without an engine? Did someone just, on that day, did lots of people decide to go out and take a car out with no engine?
There's a tremendous number of them, including in the parking lot. But there's another trend to that. Notice the traffic light's still there.
Yes, it is.
It's potted in the ground. Same with the signposts and the buildings.
So you're saying it's earthed?
Yeah.
Whereas the cars are on rubber tires?
Yeah.
Ah.
And things that are not grounded can build up a charge more.
You know, this is what I like about your book, I've got to say, Judy, because you're looking at evidence and you're just saying, how can this be explained by two planes flying into tall buildings? These cars are, in some cases, miles away from the buildings that were hit by planes. What on earth happened?
I'd like to, if we could go to 119, there's something else I'd like to point out there.
Back to 119, okay, let's go back to 119.
There is an EMT driving across the Manhattan Bridge on the far right.
The Manhattan Bridge is the bridge on the right.
3/4 miles away, and she said you could feel the heat from the bridge.
Okay, this is an eyewitness.
Yes.
Saying you can feel the heat from the bridge.
Yeah, first responders.
The heat from the World Trade Center.
Yeah. There's unburned paper for the 3/4 of a mile in between. She was feeling something, but it couldn't be conventional heat.
Could it be like microwave radiation? Because that can heat you up.
Yeah, it could be some kind of energy field that was perceived as heat.
And because she's high up, she's raised up on that bridge, isn't she?
And
although there are lots of tall buildings.
Notice the toasted cars.
On FDR Drive?
Yeah, right in front of her along that same line of sight.
Or Franklin Delano Roosevelt Drive.
Okay.
As I believe it is.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so lots of weird stuff happened on that day that you have spent 10 years looking for an explanation.
Fire cannot cause a building to collapse, but a steel frame building, but also if the building collapses from whatever, from bombs in the building, from fire, whatnot, how does that explain cars being toasted a half mile away?
It's hard to understand. Okay. All right, I think we need to look at some of the...
So once again, you had this car, you've got building 6 over here. You've got the tree, that's fine. And this car is under all the dust, right next to where the tower was there. So, Mr. Gage, please tell me how your iron microspheres or whatever that toasted all these cars apparently forgot about this car that was right there and this one over there. So, again, World Trade Center 6, World Trade Center 1 was here. There you've got Bankers Trust, no leaves burned. This car is fine, and unburned paper absolutely everywhere, and a tree with green leaves and paper in it. So a very interesting aspect of whatever that people talk about, and they always push the psychology of resistance to truth about 9/11, trying to wake up the normies that it's a inside job and all of that kind of aspects. But a lot of people end up falling for the various distractions. If it wasn't planes, well, then it needs to be bombs. If it wasn't bombs, then it's thermite. If it wasn't thermite, then it was nukes. So, but nobody wants to look at the evidence, and industry has basically been built around not having people read this book and look into Dr. Judy Wood's evidence that she presents. And I saw a very interesting conversation on the psychology of resistance about the truth of 9/11. So I want to share this article with you guys because this lady over here is part of Colorado 9/11 Truth. She's a psychologist, and she had something to say in 2010. So let's quickly listen to what she had to say, because I need to share with you guys what happened around about 2 weeks ago when I emailed her and one of her friends.
At this point, we have 9 years of hard scientific evidence that disproves the government theory about what happened on September 11th, and yet people continue to be either oblivious to the fact that this information exists or completely resistant to looking at this information. So the question becomes why? Why is it that people have so much trouble hearing this information? From my work, I think we would be remiss not to look at the impact of trauma. My name is Marty Hopper, and I'm a PhD clinical psychologist. I've been working and living for the past 30 years here in Boulder, Colorado. For the past 11 years, my work has focused on helping people who have experienced personal trauma. Now, as we know, the horrors of what happened on 9/11 were televised all over the world, and they were televised, in fact, live. We witnessed the deaths of almost 3,000 of our fellow Americans. We know this had a very severe and traumatic impact on a majority of the population.
This is so shocking, of course, to everybody watching.
That is a very hard thing to watch.
To watch powerless is a horror.
What we have been fearing for the longest time here apparently has come to pass.
You saw it here live.
Never would imagine we would see in our lifetime.
An hour and a half in which the world in the United States has changed dramatically.
We have no idea really what might happen next.
The military-industrial complex, akin to and largely responsible for the sweeping changes in our industrial military posture, has been the technological revolution during recent decades. In this revolution, research has become central. It also becomes more formalized, complex, and costly. A steadily increasing share is conducted for, by, or at the direction of the federal government. Today, the solitary inventor, tinkering in his shop, has been overshadowed by task forces of scientists in laboratories and testing fields. In the same fashion, the Free University, historically the fountainhead of free ideas and scientific discovery, has experienced a revolution in the conduct of research. Partly because of the huge costs involved, a government contract becomes virtually a substitute for intellectual curiosity.
So yeah, and once again, another book that you guys can go read so that you guys can get behind and figure out how the whole 9/11 truth and movement have been set up in such a way to keep you away from Dr. Wood's book, is to read Andrew Johnson's book, 9/11 Finding the Truth. So let's listen to the first couple of minutes on this.
Chapter 13, 9/11 and the Hutchison Effect, Handling the Truth. Some people have now observed that the 9/11 truth movement is being directed and controlled. I'm going to say that again. Some people have now observed that the 9/11 truth movement is being directed and controlled in order that only a certain amount of information is revealed at a certain time and in a certain way. I first began to understand how this seemed to be happening during the breakup of the original Scholars for 9/11 Truth group in about February of 2007. See Chapter 4. More recently, I feel I have, with the help of others, been able to document another significant instance of the attempted control of 9/11 related information. In completing this documentation, I have been somewhat concerned that I may be accused of some type of ad hominem attack against those whose statements and actions I am documenting. I feel somewhat similar about writing this article for the same reasons. Weighed against this, I feel that certain truths need to be told in order that people have a chance to understand how the mechanics of control of information related to 9/11 and the energy cover-up are operating. In short, I have now come to the conclusion that when trying to get to the truth, we have to scrutinize the history, behavior, and psychology of those presenting or discussing evidence. Has to be carefully considered. This is a short excerpt from Chapter 13 on page 135, written by Andrew Johnson, that stood out to me in the middle of reading this book. I thought, okay, this is a really good explanation as to what covers the entirety of the book and how important this book is in showing us who the disinformation agents are. Stephen Jones, Jim Fetzer, Ace Baker, Alex Jones, and many others. Check out the back of the book. 9/11 Finding the Truth, 3rd edition, a compilation of articles by Andrew Johnson, focused around the research and evidence compiled by Dr. Judy Wood, and that is on her website, drjudywood.com, drjudywood.com. Absolutely important to save that website, search it, and read it in its entirety. For those of you who are able to comprehend and hold true care for the truth and the betterment of humanity, save this information. Go to that website, drjudywood.com. Buy this book. Buy it for yourself and buy many copies for those around you. I have 2 copies so far and counting. I'm going to get many more and only give them to the right people who can understand. And I'll continue to read it here on this channel. Where did the towers go? Evidence of directed free energy technology on 9/11 by Dr. Judy Wood, BS, MS, and PhD. You have to read this book first in its entirety before you read this one. And don't pass this book up. This book is 9/11, Finding the Truth by Andrew Johnson.
Very well. And just to give you guys a bit of an idea, when you go and take on these people who've got various truther groups and who've been going at it for a couple of years, but they just don't want to look at Dr. Wood's work, I actually took them on a short while ago, asked them some questions, and what they all are doing is they are doing what is called premeditated ignorance. Have a listen to this. Unfortunately, I've been now blocked from the 9/11 war room. You guys need to go and give these guys a little bit of stick if you can. I'm in South Africa, so time zones and everything makes it very difficult for me to wait up till 1:30 in the mornings to talk to people in Boston 9/11 Truth or Colorado 9/11 Truth or the 9/11 War Room and all of that kind of stuff. So it's time for you guys to please help the fight and just listen to these people who would rather not look into the actual evidence, and they'll just keep on propagating disinformation.
From South America, or South Africa, wrong continent. Anything with the group wrapping up?
We've got people talking about difficult conversations and all of that. And when it comes to truth, especially that video clip that was played, truth is ugly. And you do have to go through uncomfortable situations and things, especially when you revisit stuff, which you think could be true. Maxwell also touched on the subject as well. Now, I've got a short little video, or not a short little video, about 10 or 12 minutes or so. I don't know if there's still time or what, if I'm allowed to share screen and maybe play that for you. It might be a little bit triggering, but as I said, as you said, we need to have some kind of uncomfortable discussions and also look at all the various narratives out there and then just see where we can work together with regards to that, because you also mentioned Dr. Wood's Q-TAM cases and all of that, but it's also very strange to see how very little of that information ever gets shared. So I would like to know whether or not I could have 10-12 minutes to play this video.
Well, respectfully, I said we were going to talk about that in April at some point, so we're going to hold off on that.
Why only in April? That's what I can't understand.
Because
have you watched my presentation with regards to your 10 points yet? Have you got any opinion on that?
Yeah, I've listened to the first 15 minutes. I'm still trying to get through the introduction that was kind of unflattering. But I do promise that I will listen to that. And I would like to have an in-depth conversation, but I would like to postpone that till later.
Trina, I've also reached out to your organization numerous times with no feedback. So
Yes, we're not really interested in debating how it happened, when it happened, where it happened.
Basically, no, I don't want to debate. I want to present evidence that's not being discussed. at all.
Yeah. Well, that's not really our forte. And honestly, we don't have the man and woman power to cover it. So we're doing what we can just to get our events up and running and keeping things going. So we just don't have the bandwidth to get into any type of discussion like that.
It's not really a discussion. It's just presenting evidence that.
Well, what are we going to do with that evidence? Even if we looked at that evidence, I'm telling you, there's nothing we could do with it. So for us to take our time looking at it isn't really where we want to put our energy and our efforts at this time.
Okay, so 2 court cases in 2007 that was groundbreaking before most of the stuff happened is we're just not going to look at that. That's what people tend to say. And that's
I give you my word. I give you my word that I would like to talk about it.
Strange.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm just saying that's out of my wheelhouse, and at the moment we don't have anybody to cover it, unfortunately. So it's not that what you're trying to present to us is falling on deaf ears. It's just we don't have the bandwidth to cover stuff like that. So I hope you understand.
I have the bandwidth. This is Maxwell Bridges, and I would like to get in discussion with 9/11 Revisionist. He can send me an email if he wants.
No, you can find me on all my socials. I've also discussed or tried to get a hold of Boston 9/11 Truth as well. I know one of your members there is a proponent of Dr. Wood's work and research and everything. So any chance that you guys will be willing to give me a ear so that I can present some of my evidence?
I'd have to bring that up to the group. It hasn't been on our. We have guest speakers that have been coming up, and we've sort of booked up for a while now. I'm not ruling it out. I would want to discuss it with the other people in the group, because we really like to keep their interests, and see. It may be that we could run it. I just can't give you an answer right now.
Yeah, that's fine. No, the main thing is, look, we're all on the same side. We all want accountability for what happened on 9/11. We know the government narrative is completely and utterly bull. And what happened that day and everything that was put into place after that with the Patriot Act and everything changed the whole world. And that's the crux of the matter. And I think 9/11 was basically one of the first test runs with regards to getting the global citizens into an attack on human consciousness, where people just outsource their thinking. And that is what we saw with COVID in the last 3 years. And now people have tried and figured out, okay, fine, but we can't trust our governments. They're spinning us lies, and a lot of people are starting to revisit everything that they thought to be true, even in the alternative truth movements, because there you also find, and you can see that now with the whole virus, no virus debate and all of that kind of stuff, and the various talking points and the infighting that you've got in the COVID sphere now as well. So that's also happening, and you can pull that back towards the 9/11 narrative as well. But if people aren't willing to challenge the thought process or world views that they hold, then you aren't going to move forward. And censoring and not wanting to listen to what Dr. Wood presented in 2007 already is very worrying if you want to call yourself a truth seeker, because you are denied, and that's a problem.
Yep, I agree, and I give you my word here in front of these 10 people that I would definitely plan on having this conversation sometime in April, and I hope you could just be patient with me.
No, don't worry, I will be patient. I will be patient, and it won't. I'm not going to come attack anybody, so don't even worry about anything like that.
Excellent.
It's going to be discussing evidence that's not being discussed. And
I might add, and at Boston 9/11 Truth on our webpage, we have a tab regarding Judy Wood. It's under alternative theories, and so if you want to go look at that.
No, I've looked at it, but it's slightly dismissive and also basically attacks Dr. Wood in a way. It's not a very flattering article that was written there was also making it out to be a kook or something like that. So I've seen it.
That's not true. I thought Chris Berger was your
No, it's not very flattering.
Well, one of our very active members is a Judy Woods promoter. He's the one who went to with Al to the
Papa.
Jimmy Dore, with the Papa literature. So I don't think we're dismissive as a group. Some of us in the group are dismissive, I admit that. But as a group, we're not collectively dismissive of Judy Woods. And I'm kind of surprised that you thought that our inclusiveness in our website was dismissive. So I'm
dismissive,
sorry
but
about
just not
that.
as flattering. It's basically just a short little bit. One can actually write a lot more about what she's actually done. People tend
Well,
to
then
forget.
it would be the Judy Woods website.
No, it's not the Judy Woods website. It's just
not
one,
the Judy
one
Woods
page.
website.
No, it's just a one page.
But anyway, if you want to send that 10-minute clip to Al and me, we'll take a look. But as Al said, we are booked up until April with our speakers. We can't take on any more until then. Okay, but if you want to send us the clip, we'll gladly take a look at it. That 10 to 12-minute clip that you referred to.
Well, that's very kind of you, yeah. I'll definitely send it. Where can I find your contact details? Because there isn't really a contact email on your website.
Okay, my email is Sue, S-U-E, Serpa, @gmail.com.
Why don't you put it into the chat? I put my email in there for 9/11 Revisionists as well, only I directed it directly to him.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Norm.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
Yep. Who's later now? Ray?
A public that can no longer distinguish between truth and fiction is left to interpret reality through illusion. Random fact.
So and after that, old Gene sent me an email stating that I'm no longer welcome to come and talk with him. So please go check out this article with regards to these people that are disinformation agents. So lastly, with regards to the toasted cars and everything, people, please go read chapter 11, pages 213 to 246. And if you are really interested in the 9/11 truth, go give these people a little bit of stick. And MES, that's me. Thank you for giving me a little bit of time.
All right, epic stuff. Yeah. All right. Yeah, you covered a whole lot of stuff there, and great to see you just talking back to those gene warfare and the other clowns. They're like evidence. Evidence won't do anything. What's the point?
Dude, I even wrote an article with TAP, that one lady who was talking there with regards to her stuff. Wrote this little article, TAP. I've always wanted to be a tap dancer. And they actually changed their website name from TAP 9/11 to just TAP. And in September, you and I went into their conversation with what's his face, Richard the Liar Gage, and I asked a question there, and this is the lady who was in talking, and we asked him questions about Dr. Wood's QTAM cases, and the Richard Gage's lawyer was there as well, and they were lying about knowing about it. And strangely enough, after they've changed their Facebook page, I'm not allowed in their new Facebook page, so they already blocked me there as well. So it's very interesting. Once you start confronting these people, they just run away scared. So go read this article as well, because it's got a couple of points. It's got Colonel John Bearden in there as well. So, guys, please go read my articles. I'm taking the guys on. We need more people to give these people stick. So that's all I can say. Please, more of you guys need to become active to put this information out there, and that's me.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, definitely. I need as many hands on deck as we can, because they keep popping up like new agents, new clones, or or just people that just are not like just ignorant of like the whole history of 9/11 Truth and the
100%.
The layers. It's like onion layers. Some of them are unaware, but then you have the Richard Gage there making sure everyone's in track. So yeah,
and they're enriching themselves. This guy has made millions.
Yeah, that's how it is. And he's on like talk shows and so on and live streams. All right, so yeah, like so you finished your stuff 9/11. You want me to share the screen? So I can share.
Stop my share screen. Stop sharing. Confirm.
Okay.
There we are. I'm out. Now I want to hear what you've got to say about those planes.
Oh yeah. Well, let's see my stuff. Basically, I'm gonna cover. Yeah, so you can see my stuff, and I'm gonna go.
Yes, I can.
And everyone can see this one fine. Let me just check what I got. Get some messages. Okay, I got some messages, and yeah. So, anyways, so we have this set up here. So I'll show my face as I'm talking. Go chat. Whoops, this one webcam. Okay, so you can see my face now. You can see my face. I'm just gonna adjust the chat box so you can see it a bit differently. All right, so there's a chat box. Don't forget the toasted bus images. Yeah, so Methyl Miner, he messaged in the Telegram. He wanted to see the toasted cars, the toasted bus image. So here's a toasted bus, and there's the mystery plane, it's supposedly the Doomsday plane. We'll cover that. And this is a bus in the memorial, and this bus, so he commented here, make sure to cover the toasted bus, the cover of 9/11 Holding the Truth, had great photos of it and how it got more toasted after the second fall. So you can search up here. So whenever you want to search something for money, just go to Telegram and write, let's go, for example, this one, Finding the Truth or Holding the Truth. This is Finding the Truth all the way up to here, and you can see this is, I made an article on Hive showing, basically putting the links to all the places where you can download PDF, Kindle, Amazon, his website, and so on to see Andrew Johnson's Finding the Truth and Holding the Truth. And in the cover, it has that bus that you showed 9/11 Revisionist, and then that Judy Wood was talking about. So this is before Building 7 fell, and there's the Building 7, I believe that's one in the background. And this is a bus parked on Barclay Street near WT7 before, top, and after bottom the building's destruction, or after WTC7 went. So there's WTC7, there's before and after. It looks like it may have moved a slight bit. Let's see, it's a bit hard to... Yeah, so there is the trees here.
Yes.
There's the trees. And this one, it looks like it's moved in front. Yeah, it definitely looks like in front and not just an angle. This tree's right here. So this angle's like this across. So this one is across here. So so if you were to turn your perspective, this tree should be more to the right. So it looks like it's got closer to it. So it definitely looks like it got moved there. So the question is, was it pushed there or just somehow moved on its own? Is a interesting question. So I'm gonna go to this live stream stats. I'm gonna zoom out of this a tiny bit, just so we can see the chat a bit smaller, bigger. Okay. Detach and build your own platforms, as you already know. 9/11 Revisionist. Show some footage frame by frame. Confirm the plane jumps oddly every 3 paces. If you can see it, then I know I'm not crazy. I'll have to see it. I haven't seen, like, because I literally play the footage frame by frame in my, if you go to my Telegram, but I guess I only look at the originals now. I realize the enhanced ones are all very, very iffy. So here is, we'll review, let's see, which one should we review? I'll review, let's see, this one, Rockefeller. I'll go to find some good ones. So if you can go to my Telegram and just write original, and you'll see I started finding the original ones, not the edited ones. So here's one here. This is the first one I put. This is Arthur Anderson, pilot, and I put the links where you can see it. It's going to be on the NIST archive.org. So NIST put an actual dump here. And very interesting, and I wrote here, very interesting how the wings and fin sections appear different than the main body of the ledge plane. That this appears to be a case of interlacing, except it's only the wings that is showing that and some others. This is supposed to be interlacing while you have a setup where you can have, it's like slightly different frames or whatnot. Then you have to merge them in together. So it looks like an issue of there. So here it is. This is slow motion. You'll see it in frame by frame. So here's what it looks like, and now then I go frame by frame. Or pretty much 0.0x speed. So here it is. Okay, it does have a slight stop and then an enhancement there. All right, so that is that. I'll look at the frame by frame later. This one is just interesting. Look at the fins, the front and the back, and you see some of them on the building, but it just appears on that setup. And I wanted to show that first, and then also if you go to the Scott Myers, here's Scott Myers footage. It's on my computer. So let's go to Scott Myers. I put a link. Okay, let's go back to my Telegram. I'm in this one here, Scott Myers. So Scott Myers has I put in a link to the original one. So if you ever see the Scott Myers ones, they all have the enhanced ones, and they don't show that. So if you go Scott Myers, actually I think I had here Scott Myers. Okay, frame by frame with Scott Myers run right here. So this is an enhanced one. I didn't realize how different it is. So there's the enhanced, and then you can zoom in closer. Whoops. I think I have a zoom in here. Okay, there it is. See how the plane looks. This is enhanced. They use upscaling and they add frames, so it has like computer generated frames, so it looks more plainish. Okay, so there it is. Go back to that one again. So it looks like that. But then if you download the original, the sky's not that blue, and it looks much different. So if I go to the where did I go? Originals. Okay, so originals. Scott Myers. Here's I downloaded it. I haven't uploaded it yet to Telegram. This will be later. So I have to go. So if you go here, yeah, if you go slowly here. So look how it is. It also has that weird interlacing thingy, but it's only on the front section and the wings, and the fin. So what I'll do is I'll take a screenshot, and so it's because I can't zoom in for some reason on this thing. Okay, I'll take a screenshot. Okay, and I'll zoom in like that, actually. Yeah, so there it is. Yeah, so you see, this is the original. That's how it looks like. Only on the wings for some reason. So if I find more videos showing this, that would be pretty epic stuff. That'd be pretty good finding. So now if you go back to that Telegram, the Telegram has this setup. Whoops. Look how the whole thing looks like there. Now if you go back to this screenshot, so this is the original. This is the enhanced or mumbo jumbo. Original, enhanced. So always check the original. Yeah. This guy died. The Scott Myers one. Next live stream, I'll be covering some Scott Myers stuff that Casimir sent me, and I believe the person that allegedly killed Scott Myers, his lawyers started talking to Casimir on Facebook. So we'll go over the messages there for the next live stream. But here, because we've already gone here, and it's also Easter Sunday, I have family over, so I'm gonna have to try to power through. So let's power through what we have. Oh, another thing I want to go first of all is so if you go to his this is 9/11 Revisionist Substack. If you liked his presentation, make sure to donate to him. I believe he has links to donate, pledge your support. There's a pledge support setup. I think it's like a thingy. Okay, that's yeah. You can pledge your support on Substack. I'll just put a link to donate to another Revisionist. So you could donate with a credit card, or I think there's a coffee there. Coffee. Okay, this one I appreciate it. Yeah, so you can also use PayPal as well. So support them as you wish, guys, and send a bunch of cash money, and also send me cash money too. All right, so there's this stuff, and I'm gonna go. Let's see what the notes I had. I removed a bunch of the notes, and I moved it to the next live stream, which is gonna be pretty epic. Which is gonna be the solar eclipse emergency live stream. All right, so the next setup is, so we went over the, let's go, another revisionist show notes. Okay, this one here, I wanted to show this last lesson, but I forgot. So OKC 1993, smoke in the 107th floor in 5 minutes. So this one is an epic stuff, 1993. So this one here, This is from That's Life and Not As You Know It, which I'll be live streaming in a couple weeks. So the 1993 WTC bombing somehow had, quote, smoke rising to the 107th floor in 5 minutes. The explosion was in the basement floors. So here's the basement floors. Here's where it is, the basement floor. And this is not to scale. The basement floor is actually much smaller, so it'll be like this tiny. Anyways, and then he was in the first tower, I believe. Explosion was in this 1993. By nightfall, 184 people were treated, and 119 of them were released, aka 119, aka 911, aka 911. Anyways, going back here, listen to what he says.
This place is a death trap. Let me tell you something. There was smoke where there shouldn't be smoke. I was on the 107th floor, and we heard the bang, and that place filled up in 5 minutes. That place is a death trap. Let me tell you something. There was smoke where there shouldn't be smoke. I was on the 107th floor.
MES, there's no sound.
Oh, there's no sound? Okay, so you guys couldn't hear that. Oh no, can you guys hear the sound? Okay, let's see, can you all hear sound? Otherwise, yeah. Can you guys hear the sound? And also, hi Victoria. And yeah, Black, the wing clearly disappears in several videos. Yeah, that was the thing I'm working on, is trying to get all the original footage. Because the sound is good, so they can hear it. So I think it opens up in a kind of like a window. So you might be the only one not hearing it. I'll see if I could. They can hear it. What I'll do is I'll try something else.
Okay, no, don't worry. That's fine. I've watched it. So, sorry.
Okay.
Oops.
Okay, so when it pops up, you may have issues. Yeah, but they can hear it. Okay, guys, we heard it. I'm gonna play this again.
The place is a death trap. Let me tell you something. There was smoke where there shouldn't be smoke. I was on the 107th floor, and we heard the bang, and that place filled up in 5 minutes. That place is a death trap. Let me tell you something. There was smoke where there shouldn't be smoke. I was on the 107th floor, and we heard the bang, and that place filled up in 5 minutes.
By nightfall, the emergency room entrance was quiet as downtown hospitals started to get back to normal after treating 184 of the World Trade Center victims.
We've treated and released 119 of them, and probably half a dozen or so have been already admitted to the hospital and brought upstairs, and a number of others, probably as many as a dozen more, are very likely to be kept overnight for continued observation.
The place is a death trap. The place is a death trap.
All right, so that's pretty epic. Yeah, so that guy says it's like a death trap, 107th floor, and smoke all over there. Yeah, Stephen F says that suggests they had smoke bombs. No, I think it was some weird dustification stuff. I think even that explosion was not just a normal explosion. And probably just affected it similar how toasted cars are affected way further out. Yeah, there's no reason smoke's supposed to be there. And also, so they treated 184 that same night, and then only 119 were released, all right? So 119, it's pretty epic. And speaking about this setup here, I tried to make this, I posted on TikTok, trying to go viral. Another footage from That's Life But Not As You Know It. He's got some pretty epic stuff. Okay, this one here.
Another development on Saturday, New York officials revealed at a news conference here in the city that a hijacker's passport was found blocks from the World Trade Center crash site, if you can believe that. No other details were given, but the discovery prompted the FBI and police to expand the search area down in Lower Manhattan. That a hijacker's passport was found blocks from the World Trade Center crash site, if you can believe that. That a hijacker's passport was found blocks from the World Trade Center crash site, if you can believe that. The hijacker's passport was found blocks from the World Trade Center crash site, if you can believe that. That if you can believe that. That if you can believe that. Another.
Yeah, so if you can believe that, and also important thing is, the password was found before the towers collapsed, or fell. All right, not collapsed, just fell down. Anyways, into dust. So that is epic. Another That's Life But As You Know It. I tried to put it there, trying to go viral. Like this video, 139,000. All right, let's power through. The next setup, 93 was a test. Oh yeah, definitely. It was like that's predictive programming. So a lot of people say predictive programming like in movies or whatever. Yeah, but predictive programming can also be in psyops. Like similar to COVID. Before COVID, there's swine flu. There's the some other ones. H1N1 pig flu. Yeah, that's swine flu, and then some other ones. Smallpox, whatever. Those all are small psyops leading up to big one. Now you have OKC, and you have the OKC one, the 1993 WTC one. Those are predictive programming psyops for giant ones. If you can believe that, guys. All right, the next one is people on roofs swore that no plane hit the South Tower. Again, the phrase no plane, yeah, so no object struck the, I can't say that because of YouTube's guidelines, but we will play this. And I'll go on Telegram, right, swear. I put everything in here before I share it to other stuff. Because because this kind of searching and finding and downloading it's much easier than any other platform that I've seen. That's why I use it. So rare footage right here. There's a lot of swearing in, but the guy. So there's the alleged second plane impact. This is similar, very close to the Scott Myers one, but they don't hear it, and they swear. One guy swears there's no plane. He also no plane noise was heard, even though they were very close to Twin Towers. And all are caught off guard by the explosion. So all caught off guard, even though they're right beside it. Let's play this here. Yeah, Joshua Good, Fiver, footage was never released before.
Oh my God! There's a news helicopter. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Let's see what
a plane. They say it was a plane and that building just randomly fucking exploded. It's not a plane. Look, that side just blew up. It just blew up.
It's a plane or a bomb. They said it was a plane.
They say it was a plane and that building just randomly fucking exploded. It's not a plane. It's not a plane.
Alright, so that's pretty epic stuff. So they're all caught off guard, randomly explodes. You can barely hear any sort of object flying. And he's saying it's not a plane. And they all have their cameras here, so nobody heard it anywhere further away. Sound blasting, either the plane is an object mass or they had sound blast. So that's this is some evidence for the object had probably some also some sound blasting, as Black saying. That's an interesting setup there. Look at the grid pattern building. We'll look through that. I'll try to sort that out another time because I don't have that much time. So the next one is silver planes with black reflections. This is an interesting setup here. Because a lot of it where it turns black, those are reflections. That's not in the shadow anywhere. And this is the comment someone said here. So thank you. It's surprising how easy it is to fool the public these days. In addition, let's go. In addition, I don't just scroll. Okay. In addition to what you're showing, keep in mind that American Airlines planes are silver with the sun above in the sky. Why would a silver plane reflect black or dark gray? The plane videos must be projections or some advanced projection, holographic or cloaking technology. I believe the 9/11 coincidence theories for close to 10 years until I dove the YouTube rabbit hole. Unfortunately, YouTube has taken down dozens of 9/11 videos that point out the truth. Yeah, that is true. That's why MES is trying to play by the rules. See, someone says, deleted on YouTube 2 videos showing a black helicopter above Tower 1 launching lasers above it. Helicopter flew away within 5 seconds. All right, we got some laser beams being fired. Okay. The next setup is original Arthur. Yeah, I just showed you that one. The weird interlacing. I believe I could find more. I'll just show you the work I'm doing. So I have a table. I have a setup here, and I'm trying to go through every single one. So this is Arthur Lang pilot, and I include the link to it, the original file, and then here's me slow motioning and going frame by frame, etc. And I have every single one here, and the Scott Myers one's in the works. And I have the latest one is Michael Hazarkani. I have it scheduled actually for later tonight, and we will actually play it right here. This one's pretty a good photo. Okay, so I have it, and also another thing is, so yesterday was Good Friday. Tomorrow is Easter Sunday. So on Good Friday, Joe Biden declared Easter Sunday as Transgender Day of Visibility. So now, therefore, I, Joseph Biden Jr., President of the United States, by virtue of the authority vested in the Constitution and the laws of the United States, do hereby proclaim March 31st, 2024 as Transgender Day of Visibility. What in the world is going on here? All right, so anyways, here's a Hazarkani one. And one thing I want to show is, within one frame, from here, look at this right wing, to this one frame is gone. Within one frame, that's supposed to be like into the building. So here it is. So you see this one here, the slow motion one. Yeah, so there, it's going in, and the left wing kind of tiny bit phases out as well. You'll see it slightly. Right here it is 0.05x speed. And then look at the right wing. Okay, this one is a bit, the left wing's a bit shady. This one, right wing, is gonna go, and one frame disappear completely. That's pretty interesting. I mean, it's a so organized person. Well, the other thing is I realized how hidden this is, like these original footage are. So if you go to any actual footage, you're gonna see just enhanced ones. I have to go through like a whole bunch, and then you can see that there's a big differences in some of them. Some of them actually show more stuff. So if you go Keith Lopez, the one I discussed before. So here's Keith Lopez. The top is original. The bottom is the enhanced. Look at the blue sky and the wing. They completely removed. This one has slightly something there. I think the AI upscaling they used, it thought that this was this noise corresponded similar to this one there. So it could be noise, could be wing or whatever. And that's the thing. So there's the original enhanced. Always get the original, and you'll see nothing. Yeah. All right. Let's see this one here. And it goes in. Yeah. So, and then, yeah, just look at it. So this is the original on top. You see a bit more noise, but a bit more wingish thingy there. This one completely goes away, but both are pretty much disappearing. So that's pretty cool. The next setup is before I upload any stuff on the YouTube channel, the actual like compilation, I gotta go through all of the plane footage and find them all, because that's I think the most important thing, because they're pretty much disappearing on the internet. All right, and the next setup, toasted cars. Okay, the toasted cars one is so in addition to an 9/11 revisionist presentation, you can also go here, and I put all the images from that video, 9/11 WTC vehicle massacre. This was by YouTuber X Desmond. He has very, very interesting stuff there from years ago. And I put all the screenshots there, and you can see all of them here. And you can, oh, this is unreal, like the amount of destruction and like weird warping and so on. All right. Yeah, and this is completely mangled, and so on. This is like this fire truck looked like it's been eaten across there, just like. Yeah, all this right, and this exterior columns are standing there. This is, I think, the biggest damning evidence. Like, it's literally standing there. Nothing's crushing it. Nothing's on top. And it's just like the lobby height. The lobbies are on here, and it's just sticking out there. And the columns and the bolts are removed, and you have a hole there, rat-shaped hole in through here. And it's like to me, this is one of the most fascinating images. All right, but it takes a keen eye to grasp it. All right. And yeah, you hear a bunch of images here. Did the jet play the sound of a commercial jet on loudspeakers? That's an interesting thing. Or they get projected. Like Mark Collins sent me actually. Let's say plasma sound projection. You could project sound as well at a distance. Patent. I think there's a patent somewhere. If anyone has a link to it already. Plasma UFOs. Let's see, this is cathode ray. See the patent. Plasma speaker. Internal volume, at least one sound generator, plasma. There's another one, Tesla coil playing music. You can go Tesla coil playing music. You can also play sound music. You could use it as a microphone. So, Rush E performed by Tesla coils. And you can play a whole bunch of music from these as well. So yeah, you could play with plasma, just actually make sound, and you could do whatever. So that's pretty cool stuff. See, the next setup is toasted cars. Where did it go? Okay, so yeah, I'm just powering through everything. The sound traveled as the plane would have as it. Lisa, the sound traveled as the plane would have as it approached it. Witness said the rumble felt like something right by, coming from. Then probably exotic vibration. Did they play the sound of it's the thing is like more like some people didn't see it. Okay, this was included my. I have notes for the next live stream. So people saying organized, MES always organized. So this MES live stream 3 solar eclipse emergency broadcast. I have a bunch of notes here and a bunch of sound stuff here. Sound, Also some similar to missile sound, some of them. But then there's the witness testimony. So plane's website, not this one here. This is witnesses that Andrew Johnson made a study. Andrew Johnson made a study. So if you can go to Andrew Johnson's one here, I was going to cover it next live stream. But anyways, there's MES stuff here. So if you go to his, he looked through all of the witnesses that said they heard or saw the object. And if you go, he made a table of how many saw it. So I think he had his table here. Let's see, where's the table? Okay, here's full report, conclusions. I thought he had a table or something. Let's go to the, okay, right here. Only 19, I'll zoom in. Only 19 of the witnesses near the WTC reported actually seeing second plane before impact as a percentage of total number near the WTC. So 20% saw it. And then only 20% of the witnesses reported actually hearing second plane before. So 21% actually heard it. Only 8 of the witnesses near the WTC reported actually seeing and hearing. So out of all the witnesses that saw or heard a plane, only 8.3% saw and heard. Of those witnesses inside one of the WTC buildings of the second impact, only 2 reported hearing the plane. So inside the building, only 2, as a percentage of those inside, 9.5%. So he has a pretty epic setup here. And then there were 117 witnesses inside or near the WTC and 291 witnesses in total. Sample I used. Percentage given below. Then therefore the number 117 giving a total of 174. There were 33 witnesses who were further 1/4 mile away and reported seeing second plane 2 before impact. As a percentage of the total, those who were this is 19%, and he was 90%. And then there's 2 witnesses who were further than a half mile away and reported hearing second plane before impact. As a percentage of those total who were further than 1/2 mile, that's 1%. So out of the witnesses that he was able to find, only 1% further than half mile away heard the plane. And when a plane's flying overhead, when I used to live there, Mark Collins in the house. There, yeah, right when I mentioned it, yeah. So when I used to live near an airport, every time it flies over, the whole dinner table shakes. Like the whole house starts to shake. Like, all right, the plane's over. All right, the Pentagon is advancing work on plasma technology that can deliver intelligible speech to nearby. Okay, so epic stuff, Mark. Yeah, so send that. I think you sent the link earlier, but we'll save it for another one. Anyways, I'm just gonna try to power through everything. Because I still need to get to the mystery planes. Because we have a thumbnail. It's not just a toasted car. It's also a mystery plane. So we'll play some of that. And these other ones, I haven't seen these, or I probably seen them like years ago. I need to refresh them. So we'll watch some of that live. Okay, toasted bus before and after bus. We went over that. What's the next setup? Silver plane. Okay, dustifying vehicles in Marine Corps Super Bowl ad. Okay, this one's pretty cool. Toasted cars, and then toasted cars before and after. Okay, so we're gonna go to the Doomsday after this one. We're gonna do some dustifying. This is the military, and actually what I'm going to do is I was sitting, because I was standing for like an hour and a half, or like 2 hours before when now the revisionist talking, so right now I'm just going to just increase my, I'm going to increase my height here, my standing table, so I'm standing now. I'm just using a manual crank right here. Or just using a manual crank to increase the thing. I had a drill to do this and it broke. Anyways, okay, so Mark Collin, I think he posted there. Okay, epic stuff using the links setup. Okay, so Mark Collin sent a link. So when Mark Collin sends stuff, you gotta check it out. Okay, mystery planes over. Okay, so he sent some mystery planes. Okay, so we'll go cover this too. Okay, so I'll read this one before the Doomsday one. So we'll cover this and then we'll watch the Doomsday setup. Okay, this is epic stuff. You've got a whole lot of it here. Mystery planes just showing in with the goods right on time. Yeah, I think this is okay. We are good, and then let's go 26. Mark Conlon mystery planes article. Let's go here. You know, it's true that lots of mystery people were breathed in by other people. Yeah, definitely, people were breathing in. This is another setup here, sending some other goods. Mystery planes over NYC. Is this another article? Oh, it's the same article. All right, so we have all this open. I'm gonna close this stuff, close this, leave this. Well, actually, close this one. And I wasn't initially sure it was a plane, so a lot of witnesses there. And going to that, let's see if we can actually we'll do some quick research right as we speak, and that's going on Telegram. So if you go on Telegram, remember I made a giant document testimony. So if you go here, search testimony. And then I downloaded and combined all 500 witness testimonies. So if you go here on New York Times, they make it so hard to search things. Site search does not search this thing. I think it searches New York Times. So that's why I had to. So there's all these witness testimonies, but you have to like go and click it and download it to actually search it. So what I did was I found a batch link downloader extension, and then I used it to download all of them and then combine them all into one PDF. So here's all into one ginormous PDF here, and I'll open it on my computer. So you can go there and open it, but what I'll do is I'll just go testimony because it's faster on my firefighter testimony PDF. Okay, so there's 499 of them. Initially I thought it was 500, there's a duplicate. Okay, so here it is.
Now that PDF of yours is a great research tool, so people need to go through that.
Yeah, that's the thing. It goes back to my motto. It's like Bill Cooper says, don't believe anything unless you research yourself. And then my additional motto is make it easier for others to verify and you to like verify your own work like 10 years down the road. All right, so I'm gonna go planes. See what this, how many times it says plane here. And you could do a search, control shift. And if you could do plane, see how many times it says it in this whole document. It's like, I think it's like how many pages, 3,000 or something? Okay, it's searching there. 1,800 times it says plane. The plane hit, second plane hit tower. I heard it, but I didn't look up the noise. Okay. The plane was enough to make you not want to look up. The plane was actually going to land in the street, to be honest. Oh, interesting. We were ahead of the game. The plane were falling on the street. The airplane parts until somebody pointed out. Second plane, the idea of terrorism was confirmed. Second plane hit. An airplane into the building, so a plane into, again, plane parts. Was airplane parts. It looked like part of an engine. Plane and lots of shoes. Interesting. Okay, so yeah, so if you guys go through these witness ones and let me know anything, especially regarding the plane stuff. And you could do search it like this as well, one by one. I heard, but I didn't look up. The noise from the plane was enough to make you not want to look up. I thought the plane was actually going to land in the street, to be honest. The noise was outrageous. When it hit the building, it was even worse. I figured as long as we didn't get hit by the plane, we had the game. Okay, so you could see all the witness testimony. This person heard something. Are we still in the time period when we were in the North Tower just before we left? There was a report of a third plane coming in from the Port Authority. I didn't know if anyone knew. Anyways, that's interesting stuff. So make sure to check that out. Angie Kohler says, easier to verify. Yes, for sure. Believe nothing you hear and only half what you see. And also make it easier. I always include my other thing. That's like the whole point. The whole reason I made Math Easy Solutions, so it's easy to verify, like a math proof, for example. Okay, and so we have that. Okay, I'm going to power through this. So some of the stuff I was going to cover in the next live stream. So mystery planes, doomsday, dustifying vehicles. I got sidetracked once Mark Holland joined the house. All right, this is military. Throwback when U.S. military. No, this was. Okay, well, I'll just click the link. It's easier when I open. I'm going to click this thing right here. Dustifying vehicles. Oh, Marine Corps. That's what I had to search. Marine. Okay, so here's this is the longer clip. It's 1 minute, and we will watch this, and we'll watch a shorter one after. It's a Marine Corps 2018 Super Bowl ad. So when it's a Super Bowl ad, they're paying like millions of dollars just for like a few seconds, or just like a minute. And so they're literally spending. They're focusing strictly on this ad for the year. So this is going to be an important one, and they have planes and ships and tanks dustifying.
It's not just the ships, the armor, or the aircraft. It's something more. It's the will to fight and determination to win, found inside each and every Marine. that answers a nation's call. Battles won.
All right. So that was yeah. I saw some dust flying, and I made a shortened one to have all the dust flying clips. And also, Angie Coulter said, "Your laugh is epic." Thank you. It is quite epic. Let's go.
It's not just the ships.
So here's the 14 seconds of all the dust flying. There's a ship. It's not just a ship that's flying.
It's not just the ships. The armor. Or the aircraft.
Aircraft. There's dust flying in the air. And this plane right there.
It's not just.
So that's a 2018 Super Bowl ad, all right? And that's actually just shortly before Night of an Alchemy was released, Facing Reality. All right, so we have that, and now we're gonna get into the next setup. Okay, so this is the interlacing one. Mark, did you see the stuff I talked about interlacing? I'll bring this up again for Mark. This was interesting. So, okay, Timothy Sullivan loves to laugh too. Let's go, baby. This was, let's go original. No, go to the original. So this was, yeah, it could be interlacing. So I just want to bring this up to Mark because he's the expert, the OG. So this one right here. So if you play this is the original footage of this one, the Arthur Anderson one. Or if you zoom in there, yeah, look at the wing there. The wing there and the fin and the nose and the other wing. And you have a tiny bit on the building. It's supposed to be what it's called interlacing, but it's only on the plane. Might be because it's moving fast. And then yeah, so that was an interesting one. But then if you compare it with what Wiki, it says it's interlacing. But this is what interlacing is supposed to be. Okay, they can see a combing effect when you see it. Interlaced video is a technique for doubling the perceived frame rate of a video display without consuming extra bandwidth, and something like this. So you have a side thing. This enhances motion perception to the viewer, reduces flicker by taking advantage of the phi phenomenon. Okay, we got a bunch of technical mumbo jumbo here. But if you go to that image, so it's supposed to look like here when someone watches interlaced video on a progressed monitor on poor or no deinterlacing, they can see combing and movement between two fields. Okay, so it's movement. So Stephen, thanks for that. Okay, so interlacing only occurs on what is moving. Yeah, okay, so that's interesting. So that adds another thing. But yeah, another part is, so you have this moving, and the center of it isn't, or it looks like more of the exterior one. So that could be an interlacing phenomenon right there. Let's see. Okay, so that's interesting. Yeah, so the enhanced one's deinterlaced. So this one, it's there, but it's only on the wings and this part. And then the Scott Myers one has it as well, the Scott Myers original footage. So that's interesting. So I could probably put a note. Interlacing is only for movement, apparently. Is horizontal often when converting over to digital. All right, so that's interesting. So it was, yeah. So and again, it was about the fast moving. So this is the original one, and then the Scott Myers has it as well. I'll show the Scott Myers one just because Mark is in the house. So there's my originals. So there's originals folder, and there's Scott Myers. I'll be doing a slow motion of this later. Okay, if you go this one, I don't have okay, I'll have to like do this, and what I'll do is actually instead of doing a screenshot, I'll just make it giant. Okay, I don't have my other monitor, so I can't make it giant like that. Okay, so anyways, so there's the this is Scott Myers one, has that interlacing as well, and only the fins and the wings apparently. And yeah, as you can zoom in there. So there's zooming in on that. So it's interesting. So horizontal, and it's is it horizontal? It looks like kind of an angle. Actually, it might be just horizontal. All right. And anyways, that is interesting. I'll just put it as a interlacing was a way of doubling the refresh rate. For example, 30 FPS image would have 60 half frames. Interesting. Yeah. So I'll just put that as the back burner just for later. So what I do is when something is like I'm just not sure. And yeah, so here's what you could do: interlace, and then you can deinterlace by moving the frames slightly, shift it so that lines up. But I will just keep that in the back burner because there might be something there to it for future. But anyways, that's interesting. All right, so okay, so going back to here. Okay, so now we've done all this. We're gonna cover the mystery planes, And let's see how much time we have, actually. So we've got in 1 hour, 2 hours, 14 minutes. Okay, we'll try to get another 15, 30 minutes and then call it quits, guys. And we have 38 people, I think. How many? 39 people. I think we peaked at... I'm zooming in right now. Okay, we peaked at, I think, 51, 52 or something. All right, anyways, let's go back into this. So the first setup is we're going to look at the Mark Holland Mystery Planes article. And then we'll go through the Doomsday video. The E4B Doomsday plane. Also found a site I used in the past, my favorites, which is September 11 Television Archive. Alright, that's epic. Oh, this is cool. Alright, thank you. I'll put this in... I'll put this in my other notes, because I'll do this later. Okay. I'll put this for the next live stream notes. Let's move this here. So this is for the next week's live stream, Solar Eclipse emergency broadcast, a whole bunch of stuff. Kate Middleton, deep fake. I'll show that at the end before I leave the video. This one here. Archive site. Okay. I'll save this draft. All right. So that is a draft. I'll put this to the side here. All right. And let's continue. Let's look at the Mark Conlon stuff. So this is from 2017. Okay, watch on catch up Norman's presentation epic. Yes. Okay. And good evening, inmates. Oh, that's live. That's not easy to know it. Yeah. Welcome in the house. Okay. Welcome. That's live. Yeah. I'll play the Kate Middleton stuff I found from yours, and I made my own thing. All right. And then yeah. So we have everybody in the house here. Okay. So I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna read this article. Actually, I haven't read it before. It's from Mark Conlon, October 25th, 2017. Unreal. We got hard time. The perks of being a Simon. Thanks. All right. Thanks, Simon. Let's go. Okay, I'm gonna go and here, right here. So mystery planes over NYC during the flight 175. So yes, from 2017. So Mark's been literally OG plane researcher for way before. Yeah, and this is pretty much at the same time I was finally realizing by 9/11 this article. Okay, so South Tower impact in 9/11 by Mark Cullen. An area of research we never hear too much about anymore is the two quote mystery planes flying in and around the vicinity during the second quote alleged plane event where allegedly flight 175 impacted the South Tower in New York. The FBI were aware of at least one of those two quote mystery planes, as reported by Jennifer Spell, a videographer who captured the quote mystery plane in the background as flight 175 crashed into the South Tower in her video. In her video footage. She provided the FBI with a copy of her video which showed a, quote, second plane paralleling the alleged United Airlines Flight 175. I love the quotation mark. Plane. To my knowledge, nothing more was ever discussed, disclosed to Jennifer Spell by the FBI during their visit for a viewing. Okay, Perks, thank you, MES. You woke my curiosity. Epic stuff. Thank you for thanking me. Okay, let's see what, getting some, all right, and let's go back here. To my knowledge, nothing more was ever disclosed as to Jennifer Spell by the FBI during their visit for viewing at her home of the video footage as to what the second plane was doing in that area at the time of the plane crash into the South Tower. So the Jennifer Spell video, second mystery plane. So you got this one right here behind the towers. There's a mystery plane. Other videos also captured the... Let's see if I can make it bigger. Oh, no, it doesn't make it bigger. I'll zoom in like this. Okay, other videos also captured the second mystery plane paralleling the alleged Flight 175 plane. See below. Third mystery plane during the second impact of the South Tower. So there it is, and there's a plane right there. Is that projecting the hologram or the volumetric mumbo jumbo? All right, so there's another one. There's a link to it. A Camera Planet archive video also captured close-up of the mystery plane. See below. There's another plane, mystery one. Many researchers have tried to explain this mystery plane as a, quote, doomsday airplane. The doomsday airplane was a different shape and was mainly white in color with a black stripe running down the middle of the plane and without any black markings of the wing or tail section of the airplane, as seen in the plane images above captured in the South Tower event in NYC. The fact that, quote, mainstream media made a big story about a mystery plane in the Washington area where they correctly reported as a, quote, doomsday airplane could indicate some type of perception management to play down second mystery plane's presence in NYC. Yeah, so the Washington one, they actually had the news, CNN talked about it. So that was actually doomsday one. And then this one, he's saying, yeah, it's a bit different than this one, okay? This is a doomsday one. Looks like it has a thing on top. Has a stripe. and this one looks like that, and it's like black on the top there. This one's not black. Interesting. So see video from September 12, 2017 from Anderson Cooper's 360 program, where they revisited the mystery plane that flew over the White House on 9/11. Let's see here. Actually, I included your video. I think it was
very much. We'll talk to you a little bit on now to one.
I just want to see which quality was better, because I think I got it from yours, actually. I didn't realize after until I realized, oh, it was yours. A Doomsday Plane, CNN report. This was from your blogspot, actually.
XXL to M.
Let's play this here.
These are the jeans I wore half a year ago. And this is how
Tom, thanks very much.
Okay, it looks like this one, but I think I found a YouTube one that has slightly better quality. I don't know how they did it. Let's play
Tom,
this.
thanks very much. We'll talk to you a little bit on.
Okay, this one's, I think, slightly better. Anyways, we'll play this one and we'll go back to the article.
Now to one of the eeriest moments amid the carnage of 9/11. A mysterious plane was seen flying right over the president's residence. Even some CNN staffers saw it. To this day, it has never been officially explained. Tonight, Chief National Correspondent John King has new details about this great 9/11 mystery.
Today, 6 years after 9/11, a mystery endures about just what happened in the skies over the White House that terrible day. A plane flew right over it. But why? And what was it? For conspiracy theorists, the image is a gold mine. Go back to that morning. Suddenly, an orderly evacuation of the White House turned hectic. In New York, the Twin Towers had collapsed. There was word of an explosion at the Pentagon. And then, Secret Service warnings of another plane still on course for Washington. It appeared overhead just before 10 a.m., a 4-engine jet banking slowly in the nation's most off-limits airspace, on the White House grounds and the rooftop, a nervous scramble.
About 10 minutes ago, there was a white jet circling overhead. Now, you generally don't see planes in the area over the White House. That is restricted airspace. No reason to believe that this jet was there for any nefarious purposes, but the Secret Service was very concerned, pointing up at the jet in the sky.
And still today, no one will offer an official explanation of what we saw. Two government sources familiar with the incident tell CNN it was a military aircraft and say the details are classified. This comparison of the CNN video and an official Air Force photo suggests the mystery plane is among the military's most sensitive aircraft, an Air Force E-4B. Note the flag on the tail, the stripe around the fuselage, and the telltale bubble just behind the 747 cockpit area.
There are many commercial versions of the 747, obviously, that look similar, but I don't know any of them that have the communications pod like the E-4, the Air Force E-4 does behind the cockpit.
The E-4B is a state-of-the-art flying command post, built and equipped for one reason, to keep the government running no matter what, even in the event of a nuclear war. The reason it was nicknamed the Doomsday Plane during the Cold War.
They exercise this type of thing all of the time, and they simply don't talk about it. So it doesn't surprise me that they are very closed-mouthed about it.
Ask the Pentagon, and it insists this is not a military aircraft, and there is no mention of it in the official report of the 9/11 Commission. Commission co-chairman Lee Hamilton says he has a vague recollection of someone mentioning a mystery plane, but staffers who looked into it never raised it as a relevant issue.
When you're conducting a major investigation, you get thousands of things that come at you. You can't possibly sort through them all. This never rose to the level of a discussion within the commission.
To some, the lack of any official explanation feeds an ominous conspiracy. This is from an online discussion about the plane on the website 911blogger.com. I have always thought these planes were exactly that, mission control for the 9/11 attack on our country. 9/11 Commission co-chairman Hamilton calls such talk ludicrous.
We, of course, heard the conspiracy theories about the president ordered the attack and the Defense Department was involved. We saw absolutely no evidence of that.
But 6 years later, the Pentagon, the Secret Service, and the FAA all say they, at least for public consumption, have no explanation of the giant plane over the president's house, just as the smoke began to rise across the river at the Pentagon. John King, CNN, Washington.
Interesting. We're going to check in shortly with Chad Myers tracking.
All right, so yeah, Anderson Cooper talking about it, and they did an investigation, and I found that they're not responsible. The government looked into it, and the government said the government's not responsible. All right, co-chair Hallivan, and he had a smirk too, and he's.
Conspiracy theories about the president ordered the attack, and
or he's just laughing it up. All right, so that was very interesting. Yeah, and I actually didn't see this before until when I was made this video, and I had to go look for some planes. That's why I do the live streams. It's pretty good. Pushes me to actually look into it. So let's say Frank Eugene Corridor was an American truck driver. He stole a Cessna 150 late on December 11, 1994, and crashed the stolen aircraft onto the south lawn of the White House early on December 12th. Yeah, I heard about that actually. I got a Frank Eugene Corridor, 1994, White House. Let's go look. Yeah, I did read this about it before. Yeah, so he stole it and flew it on September, late on September 11th, crashed into the White House Tower. So this is this is like some Freemasonic ritual or something. Night of the Mystery Plane, The Vanishing America. September 1st. Yeah, this was by David Ray Griffin. Okay, this is David Ray Griffin talking about it, E4B. Okay, so we've powered through that. We're going to continue the article. It's pretty epic. So go back to Mark Collins' article. As stated in the news report, 9/11 Commission co-chairman Lee Hamilton said he had a vague recollection of someone mentioning a mystery plane. Vague. This is a 9/11 Commission co-chair saying he had a vague recollection. What do you mean? Like if random people on the internet know about it, you're doing the report. You better know about it. Said a vague recollection of someone mentioning a mystery plane. However, yet the staff who looked into it didn't raise it as an important issue to investigate, and wasn't raised for a discussion. Were they referring to the Washington mystery plane or the mystery planes in NYC? Also, as there was at least 2 mystery planes in the vicinity during the South Tower event. See images below. Okay, John D'Souza, retired FBI. I'm not sure about that. Let's see. I'll have to look at that for later. So stuff like this, Rotary Motion, if you have or anyone else, just send me an email or just put it all together. Just check Geisman details. I can help you. Yeah, we will look into it. I gotta finish this. I'm gonna power through these stuff, and then for next, actually that's for next week's. So a whole bunch of stuff here, even including the Scott Myers, I see Casimir. I have some updates on your Casimir, and you talk to the attorneys. This will be for the next live stream. But this one I'm gonna power through the mystery planes and then call it a day. Let's go here. Okay, so there's another plane before Flight 175 hits the South Tower. There's another one. Mystery plane photos. There's another one, another plane or same plane flying around the first plane, Flight 11. After the first plane, Flight 11 hit the North Tower. Even after the first plane. Okay, we have a plane there, and there's another. The first Flight 11 goes in. Was this plane tracked or accounted for before Flight 175 hit the South Tower? Mystery plane on top of this. This is on top. The actual one's like I think about this height, and goes in. Okay, there's the explosion there, and there's a mystery plane. This is South Tower, so this is literally projecting. There's some holographic plasma projections right here. Second plane collection, voice skull, hologram to skull visuals. I think they can project sound like that. Like I showed you the Tesla coil stuff. I think it was just a projection of actual like weird plasma sound that might be heard from different areas. So plane can be seen in the air by another picture. Or yeah, so that's what I'm leaning towards, just because a lot of witnesses didn't hear it, but it could be a factor stuff because I'll just see how witnesses are during a missile strike, because sounds are similar when they do or when they are visible. So anyways, there's a plane that can be seen in the air by another picture. So you have another one there, and there's a close-up there. It looks like it doesn't have a thing on top, so it's not a doomsday one. So I have 2 mystery planes that were captured in the other videos and photographs in and around the NYC area during the second alleged plane impact into the South Tower. Here's another one. There's a helicopter. There's a plane there. Holy, and there's as the building's going in. So this is projecting. it's a scalar wave tech. Dolly drop anchor tube deep. Why didn't the dolly drop anchor? Is that about the bridge or something? Anyways, why didn't we hear anything about the existence of these mystery planes in NYC? Was a story used by CNN to confuse or play down the issue in relation to the existence of the mystery planes in NYC, or to confuse people with the Washington, quote, doomsday airplane sightings, which one might be expected in light of events in NYC? Yeah, that is true. Once you have the WTC stuff, you're going to obviously have doomsday random stuff flying, especially around the White House, which one might expect in the light of the events in NYC that such a, quote, doomsday plane would be flying around in the Washington area. Another unusual object flying by during the second plane impact was captured in the Fox News Chopper 5 video. The flying object is moving at speed in the opposite direction. It doesn't appear to be picked up by other videos or photographs. What was this object doing? Is it a helicopter? Was it dumping debris? Oh, yeah, this is interesting. So this is a plane going, low flying object flying by at speed at a low altitude in this area was this dumping debris in this area. This is a chapter 5 video, so I have to look at that one closely. So that's interesting. All right, image projection, holographic projector technology. Hypothesizing because of the all these strange anomalies captured in the second plane crash, videos of the alleged Flight 175 airplane, such as disappearing wings, no collision on impact with the building, explosion happening after the plane had already entered the building, and no apparent debris falling to the ground of the plane, along with no breakage of the tail section on impact, and impossible plane speed. And there's the this is the Luke Kershand footage, I think, and there's the left plane missing the right plane. The left wing missing the right wing is just weirdly looking like that. But you can restart emergency engines on ships manually. It's called redundancy. Interesting. Explaining these anomalies, I've always been prompted via a way of video fakery, which has several issues in it. In its theory, my personal hypothesis suggests something similar to a hypothesis first put forward by Richard Hall in 2012 regarding a drone flying parallel to Flight 175 projecting an airplane. This was mainly suggested because of the anomalies in the military radar data, which showed the plane's coordinates 1,500 feet to the side of the civilian radar plane path. My suggestion to the drone theory flying to the side of Flight 175 would be to ask the question: were those two unidentified quote mystery planes involved in some way developing some type of image projection of a plane, which is why the existence of the two mystery planes was never investigated fully or discussed publicly by the 9/11 Commission. So this is one theory. You have the drone going there and then projecting it as it strikes in there. Some plasma laser text, holographic stuff. Airborne holographic projector, which has been talked about in the various manuals and articles. See below airborne holographic projectors from the that Space Warfare 2025 military document. So this one projecting over there, airborne holographic projector, and I think you can also project sound as well in there. Yeah. Anyways, also this Washington Post article talks about a secret program established in 1984 to pursue technology of a holographic projector for deception purposes. The article certainly gives us a glimpse of the thinking in military circles for weaponry of a different kind. See below. So it's a Gulf War. It's hard to read, but I'll just zoom in here. Okay. The Gulf War story might be dismissed were it not the case that WashingtonPost.com has learned that a super secret program was established in 1994 to pursue the very technology for PSYOPs. Application of the holographic projector is described in a classified Air Force document as a system to project information power from space for special operations deception missions. War is like a box of chocolate.
MES, if I can just chime in here, I just shared a link to an interview with John Lear where he was talking about this 3D projection technology. It's around about an hour or so. People can go listen to him because he also did an affidavit with regards to Dr. Morgan Reynolds and his QTAM case against NIST and the impact studies that they did with regards to this alleged planes. So people go check out that link.
Where's the link?
Put it in the comment section.
Oh, it's in the comment. Oh, there it is. Okay, so Rumble there. Okay, let's put this there. Yeah, so this one I think is one
of the things I wanted to show.
So yeah, this is John Lear. When he goes over the documents, he even talked about projecting sound and so on. So check that out. And this is we'll put that in as well. Actually, that's for the next one. John Lear projection. Let's go. Whoops. This is for the next live stream. Oh man, I just what just happened? Sorry, 20 projection, and then so anyways, this is me organizing, and let's go back into the setup here. Oh yeah, so war is like a box of chocolates. You never know if you're gonna get a PSYOP and so on. And again, also discussed in this article was over here. The Baghdad plan was involved projecting a giant hologram over Iraq. This kind of projection requires a mirror behind it. The scale of the projection dictated a mirror several kilometers across up in space. So the farther the object, it's a bit hard to see. I think I don't know why the thing is like that. Let's go to the Baghdad one. What is it called? Artificial image of Allah. It was just the one of the Allah one. It's just a bit hard to read. I'll just read it. I'll find a better copy later. All right. The scale, the projection dictated a mirror several kilometers across up in space. So far, the largest mirror developed has been 30 meters wide and present versions are too small to produce a convincing image at ground level. Another approach would be to make a mirror out of thin air. Okay, it's a mirror of it. Okay, I can't read that. I'm going to read this here. David Hamling, London, Baghdad, 1991. Good Lord, what in heaven's name? All right, let's just find the article. What in the... Okay, so here's a article here. Okay, let's read this here. And what was being highlighted. The Baghdad plan all the way to projection. Okay, the Baghdad plan right here. Okay, we can actually read now. Another approach would be to make a mirror out of thin air. When warm air lies on top of cold air, the difference in density is enough to bend light. At higher altitudes, a mirage can make a whole landscape appear in the sky. An artificial mirage could, in theory, be made by heating the atmosphere with radio waves or microwaves. The military certainly appears to believe in the potential use of holograms. A USAF think tank has devised uses ranges from deceptive holographic imaging to the Star Trek sounding distortion field projector. These are described as useful for strategic deception purposes, particularly against an unsophisticated adversary. They were projected by special aircraft, an airborne hologram projector. Perhaps the nearest current equivalent is the Commando Solo, a modified Hercules festooned with aerials and antennae and carrying pods of classified electronics. It can transmit across electromagnetic spectrum, including radio and television signals. And the face of God needs a voice. A new technique using microwaves could produce this. When a high-power microwave pulse strikes the human body, a small temperature disturbance occurs, causing an expansion of tissue that can create an acoustic wave, or vibrating humans and actually hearing stuff. A report from the USAF Scientific Advisory says with a pulse stream, an internal acoustic field of 5 to 15 kilohertz can be created which is audible. Thus, it may be possible to, quote, talk to adversaries in a way which would be most disturbing to them. This is seems a bit different from this one right here.
I mean, just check the article that I also sent you with regards to the U.S. Navy confirming that they have holographic technology to project UFOs and stuff.
Yeah.
So, interesting article as well.
Right, the U.S. Navy acknowledges having holographic technology to project UFOs. Now that's epic stuff here. Yeah, I think it's becoming like it's becoming mainstream that government can do everything, and I think the angle is like, oh, they're just now finally doing it or something. They can do it for years, decades. Now this epic stuff. I'll put this in the chat.
Yeah, Chris Hampton had that interview with Haruyuki Nagayaka or something or other weird name with them doing it at Dulce Air Force Base or whatever in the 60s and 70s already.
Yeah, no, I have that here. It's epic 2020 interview with Nori Hayakawa. Okay. All right. Let's see how much time is left. I want to finish that article. It's pretty interesting because I haven't read this, so I'm like literally researching on the go. All right. Closing note. I believe this is a valid area for research in relation to the alleged 175 plane crash at the South Tower, and could go some way to explaining far better the anomalies captured in the Flight 175 plane crash videos. Video fakery cannot explain anomalies sufficiently, which I've pointed in several articles in the past. In some cases, it appears to be used as a distraction or some type of psychological operation by the likes of Simon Shack and Ace Baker. Video fakery cannot account for how they could control the many hundreds of people who seen a plane in the sky hit the South Tower. Plus, how did the perps have a complete control over the video and photographic record in the whole area of the NYC without the possibility of at least one or two videos / photographs slipping through the net showing no plane hitting the South Tower? This has never been fully explained by Simon Shack or Ace Baker when they were prompting the video fakery theory. With image projection technology such as technology mentioned above, the perps would not need to have complete control over the eyewitnesses, photographers, or videographers, which could limit the people involved to a small few in carrying out the event. By carrying it out this way, using technology that can also explain the lack of plane crash physics. I think the possible use of an image projection technology explains anomalies far better as a hypothesis than does the video fakery, especially with the possible involvement of the two mystery planes, which has not been fully explained to this day. I'm not saying this is how it was done or they were even involved. It is just a hypothesis put forward and open to change it as and when I gather new evidence in my investigation and research. Thank you for reading and caring. Epic stuff there, guys. And this is, yes, make sure to read that. Yeah, researching on the go. Okay, Andy's just loving my my humor. Let's go. Okay, so the next setup is, okay, so this one here, yeah, John Lear's. If John Lear's still around, I want to try to get him on the live stream. I'm pretty epic. All right, I've looked into the Dolly ship Baltimore Bridge. Okay, we'll show some of that. I have some of the time lapse of it.
No, MES John Lear unfortunately has passed.
Oh, that's too bad.
But you need to get Dr. Morgan Reynolds on. He's still around.
Yeah, I have him on my list to email. So that is definitely. If you can also
do it quick. He's old. Do it quick.
Yeah, so I'll do that. I'll try to do that next week. Also, if you guys, anyone have contact with them, also let him know as well. And Morgan Reynolds actually donated to the Chris Hampton fund. Hampton Fund. So you can see who. So he's still. So Andrew Johnson put a $250 USD, guys, for Chris Hampton's fund. So yeah, that's epic stuff. And then that Chris Burrier from Boston 9/11 Truth also donated. You can see, I think Morgan Reynolds in there too. You pretty much have like the whole 9/11 truth, the real truth of the movement. You have Abraham Rodriguez, and who else is in there? Jean, I think that's Jean, the French lady maybe, and then Julia Ratzi, another big name in the 9/11 truth stuff. All right, so John Lear, yes, R.I.P. And okay, so we have that. Okay, so we've gotten over the mystery plane, the CNN report. This is the E4B, and here's an article, and here's a paper on it. I haven't had a chance to look at these, but I'll just show them. Fifth mystery plane above White House was $170 million pound U.S. Air Force Doomsday jet. So mainstream talked about it. Looks like this, and so on. And they said fifth plane. Now they're talking about the usual mainstream. The mainstream news is just the worst. They want to have a topic, then they bring in this nonsense. All right. Why did the world's most advanced electronics warfare plane circle the White House in 9/11? So there's an actual paper on this. And this Mark and Griffey, as the eyes would see, this is okay. I'm gonna read. See what he says here. Now you generally don't see planes in area restricted airspace. I just want to see what his conclusions are. And he has some good images of it. And there's how it looks like there. Okay. And it looks like, I think it's from a mainstream angle. Okay. Oh yeah, and Mark Cullen also donated as well to the Hampton Fund. So make sure to donate whatever you can. Where did I go to the Hampton one? I hit these tags there. So whenever you see this stuff, just after the question mark, that's all tracking stuff. So you can remove it, and you have the proper link. All right, donate to Chris Hampton. All right. Let's see, John Lear. All right, yeah, a lot of stuff is over. Yeah, people don't try to explain that well. They just say what they know, but you gotta explain. Okay, let's see. This was the paper. I just want to see what his conclusions were. I didn't have a chance to look at the conclusions. All right, all of this underscores the urgent need for a new 9/11 investigation. It must be independent, nonpartisan, accurately funded, empowered with the authority to subpoena witnesses. Representative Fox News must be brought before a genuine panel made to testify. Why is it Fox News? What about CNN? Every other news? Why just Fox News? Oh, they hold the
Who did her independent investigation?
Yeah. It's almost like this. Like, that was already a giant paper, and it says, okay, now we have to investigate. Well, what are you doing? What's the point of the paper? That's an investigation into that specific mystery plane. All right, so the next setup, and but also, like, looking at the before and after, it's literally the towers turned to dust. What more do you need to investigate? So the Boeing E-4 Advanced Airborne AAC, the Night Watch, is a strategic command and control military aircraft operated by the United States Air Force, etc. And there it is. First flight, June 13th, a day before Trump's birthday. Interesting. Okay, so that's another setup there. All right, so that's how it looks like. Okay, so now watch some of those videos, and I'll probably fast forward some of them because I gotta piece it. All right, so this is, I'm gonna close this stuff. Close, and close this one. Oh, close this. Okay. Kate Middle, deepfakes are deeply flawed. Mistakes done on purpose to fool the masses, believing they couldn't be fooled by this new attack. Well, the masses are fooled. Well, they don't bother looking at it. But yeah, I have. I'll show that before the last part of the video. I'll show the Kate Middleton one that I got from. I got it from over here, from That's Life Now As You Know It, which is gonna join live stream in April 13th, so 2 weeks from now. And what I'll do is, and then it's basically she blinks at once every second, so like more than double the average rate. We'll show that at the end. I just want to finish this. So Mystery Planes, part 1, part 2, part 3. This is from this BitChute channel called the 9/11 Blacklist.
XXL to M true. These are the jeans I wore a year ago, and this is our.
Skip
It's
that.
like I woke up in the insane.
Oh, so many ads now. BitChute's becoming like YouTube. Okay, and it bypasses the ad block. It's unreal. Oh no, the ad block's off. I could put the ad block. Okay, ad block is on. Okay, so ad block's on. Surprised John Lear was allowed to say what he did and others didn't. Well, he was a CIA pilot. That was interesting. But again, like I didn't even hear about him. It's not just saying stuff. It's also like who knows about you? Barely anyone knew about the holographic planers for years, for like decades. I had no idea about it. Okay, let's play this one here. Okay, let's see the audio. Okay, this one will fast forward. This channel's a bit suspect, but I think they have some good footage of the mystery planes. Okay, let's play it. Let's see what they say here. Okay, as the horrific events were unfolding on and around the Twin Towers and the Pentagon, you might not even need to play the video. I'll just fast forward. There were strange reports of mysterious planes circling before impacts into the North and South Tower. So remember, this is before even the North Tower. So that's the key one. So then you can't just say, oh, it was the second one. It's because the North one was hit. Now you got planes moving over and seeing what's up. This one is before the North Tower was hit. These came from the media networks, but there was more happening in the skies that the media were not revealing to the public. So there it is. This one. There's a pent bomb. Okay. So there's a mystery plane. This unreported white plane is visible to the skies after both the South Tower and North Tower were hit. It's a double speed. Just try to fast forward all this. I want to pass. I want to go through all this though. This stuff is important. Okay, there's another one.
A plane coming up in the other direction earlier. I noticed it had you, Charlie. I didn't know if it was that plane that then circled wide and came back from another direction, but we all watched it, and I just assumed.
John, could you hear that?
After the plane appears to plow into the South Tower, watch carefully when the camera operator zooms in and looks to the left of the South Tower.
Holy shit!
It's hard to see.
You got that? I got that. Holy shit! I'm sitting here walking through all the. Holy
Oh, there's
shit.
one. Yeah, there's an object right there.
Holy shit! Holy shit!
Okay, so there's one there. We'll see how much we can go through. Oh, okay, so I am actually running out of time, so I'm gonna go through here. We'll see what else, how many else they see. Okay, there's another one. Okay, there's another one over there.
That was the other building. That was the other building.
They were likely real planes then, and you know these ones in the background. These are not the ones that hit. Yeah, that's life. Looking forward to catching up. Yeah, for sure.
The other fucking building. What are you saying?
6 minutes after Flight 11 slammed into the North Tower. Why was it not intercepted? The 9/11 Commission claims there simply was.
Okay, let's see some other footage. Okay, I see some other footage. These images and footage proves there was a white plane close to the Twin Towers before, during, and after impacts. Okay, let's see these ones. Why is it not playing properly? This was tracking the plane that plowed into the South Tower. See this one here. I have this corroborated from three different angles. Okay, this is interesting. Let's see what he says here. The first angle is a high definition version of a NIST FOIA 942. Okay, I was. As the plane appears from the left of the screen, look above and you'll see a white object tracking to its target. When the explosion happens, the white object peels off to the left. Okay, that's an interesting thing. So let's see what we have. where's... Oh, there's the object there. No. What's going on? Okay, there it is. Oh! Okay, this one's interesting. Look at that object over there. Okay, this is, I think, yeah, Mark Allen might be onto something there. So there's an object right there. And there's the plane. Let's see what happens to it. It's going. And then it starts turning left. Yeah, now it's turning left. I think it's turning left. Oh, that's Life trying to send a super chat. Yeah, I don't know what the issue is. Is not accepting super chats. Does anyone else have an issue with super chat? It might be copyright stuff, or what does it say? That's Life. I'm not sure. Anyways, let's continue on here. Let's see the slow motion. Let's see how it looks like here. Why is it taking so long? Just show me the goods. Like, what am I? Okay. Oh, there's an object right there. What's happening? I don't. Like, okay, there is object. Why is it? Okay, anyways, this is like breaking my brain. I don't know why it's not doing it properly. Oh, rotary motion. Let's go, thanks. John later said stuff about aliens was wrong. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's the thing. It could be, a lot of people get stuff wrong, but also, aliens is an interesting one. My view is aliens equals a lie. Okay, yeah, the lack of sound of engines is interesting. Okay, where's the thingy here? Okay, there's another one. Okay, I gotta sift through this. I just hate how they don't make it proper, like, easy to understand what the world's going on here. Alright. Yeah, so Super Chat's working, guys. So yeah, send me a bunch of cash money. Okay, there's a whole bunch of other ones. And then BitChute is just the worst. Sometimes the videos don't play. Ramification of this event. Okay, so that was part 1. I'm gonna close this. See what part 2. Hopefully part 2 is better.
XXL to M true.
All right, so let's see what part 2 does. Well, was there 2 Doomsday? And there was only 1 actually. Oh, there's over the White House is always supposed to be 2. Arthur Mostfied White. All right, let's go back here.
And
heard the explosion.
And Cindy
Looked like black, all of them.
Oh really? Okay. Could you see any people in the windows?
No, I didn't. I could have seen some, but I didn't see people. I just saw when I looked over here, I saw the windows really, really big. And then I saw where the engine is, like it was, because I could see it going this way. I saw the engine.
Okay, you saw the actual engine. All right. Now, there are a couple different accounts of different planes in the area, so I'm going to stop the camera and pull out these pictures of these different planes to see you know, which one looked more like the one that you saw, okay?
Okay.
All right, hang on a second. Okay, Cindy. So, there were some official counts of a plane like this. This is a C-130.
Okay.
A big military plane that was chasing it. Did you see that?
No.
Did the plane you saw, did it look like that?
No.
See how it has propellers that actually spin on the front and they have 4 engines?
Yeah, no.
You didn't see that because you mentioned there were propellers before, but you're saying when you say that did the engines look more like this?
Yeah, exactly. This is what I saw. But for some reason it looked bigger. You know what I saw? It looked bigger.
Well, it's because it's darn close to you.
Yeah, but this is what I saw. I didn't see...
Okay, now here's another one. This is an American Airlines jet right here with the stripes on it. Would you say the plane looked more like this with the red stripe, this picture with the red stripe, or more like this color with the blue stripe that you saw?
This one with the blue stripe. I didn't see any This one, because this one kind of looks like mirror-ish, kind of, you know?
Right, like a chrome or silver.
I didn't see this one.
You did not see that one. Okay, you mentioned there were numbers on the tail. Did the numbers on the tail, see how there's two big AA there?
Yeah, there's like numbers right here.
Oh, it was right in the middle of the tail like that?
Right here. Like, right, can you see? Can you see this?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
This, right, there was like numbers right here.
And how big were they?
Medium size, like right here. They were like really small, like right in, they weren't like big.
They just took up the top of it?
Mm-hmm.
The top portion of it?
Yeah.
So it wasn't two big AAs with wings like that?
No.
Okay.
So it was plain, it was like plain, it wasn't sparkly or anything like that.
And that's all you saw was the one plane?
Just the one plane.
Okay. Right.
Because that's that plane, it was plain, you know?
You know for sure that's what you saw, huh? And it was pretty close for you.
Yeah, that's what there was no, it was just like that, just plain. Plain.
With one blue stripe.
Yeah, with one blue stripe.
Okay.
And then, you know, this was big to me.
Did you see any red markings at all on it? I mean, for real, think hard.
No, I don't remember any red.
Huh. Okay.
But it was plain. It was plain. Didn't have all this stuff on it. It was simple plain. You know?
Okay.
Plain.
All
I would
right.
have remembered. You know?
Right.
I would have remembered.
Alright. Was this a Pentagon one? I'm not sure which one this was. Let's see what the beginning was. Elementary. Okay.
What direction did it come? Did it come from
See the plane like
house?
it was under
Reference for people.
Anyways, I'm just doing
vehicle
research.
down, but
Reyes.
Where's the beginning?
Went real quickly.
There's no other.
You could, I mean,
describes the plane as white. She didn't. It's the other account.
see it. It smelled too.
Veronica corroborates the other accounts of a single, unusually low flying jet airliner. But now we have a third person that's specific.
Yeah, I believe they're talking about the Pentagon one, I believe. Anyways, I'm just gonna power through the next one and see if there's anything interesting, and then I gotta head out.
Okay, so this is pretty accurate as well.
Como los aeroplanes de aquí.
Yeah, so they're reporting different plane that they saw at the.
Now.
In the White House at the moment, and they're clearing the grounds there.
And the roof on, and it insists.
Alright. Okay. Actually, pass over St. Louis Airport according to DCC. Alright, this stuff I'll have to look into. I was trying to watch this before the live stream, but I got distracted with a bunch of other stuff. And didn't do that. So I will try to do that for another one. Anyways, and because I also am losing some power and energy. Let's see. Dismiss here. See how many people. Okay, so we're at the 3-hour mark. I think I'm gonna end it by checking the Kate Middleton one here. So here's AI defects. I got this from these talking points. These points here from That's Life, but Not As We Know It. All right. Yeah. Thanks very much, and enjoy your series as well. And yeah, this one here has some interesting stuff here. So on average, people blink around 15 to 20 times a minute, and then she blinks much more. So here's her blinking.
I wanted to take this opportunity to say thank you personally.
Yeah, so I got this from there because he's saying deep fake alert. Well, I did a deep fake alert. So I started doing was AI deep fake alert, and I did some video shop and added the blink count and the timer. So let's play this video. So average human blinking rate is 15 to 20 times per minute. You can just do a Google search. So
I wanted to take this opportunity to say thank you personally for all the wonderful
Alright, so I start counting from here. So I do a 30-second one, but you could probably, I might do the full thing to see what the actual thing is. Alright, so there's blink count starting, there's one.
messages of support and for your understanding.
So I went frame by frame and let's just see her blink.
Whilst I've been recovering from surgery. It has been an incredibly tough couple of months for our entire family, but I've had a fantastic medical team who have taken great care of me, for which I'm so grateful. In January, I underwent major abdominal surgery in London, and at the time, it was thought that my condition was non-cancerous. The surgery was successful. However, tests after the operation found cancer.
Alright, so 30 and 30 seconds. Alright, so that's about 60 a minute, and yeah, I showed my brother. He's saying, "Oh, it might be the glaring about the sun glaring." I'm like, no, it's pretty ridiculous. Alright, yeah, so that's 30 and 30 seconds, And another one, okay, so Black saying, could you quickly go over a tower collapse compilation and check for the debris, see if you see it. We'll see what you mean. I don't know, I'm not just, so tower, which one, the second one or the first one? Compilation. The towers collapse. This one, yeah, I just wasn't sure which one you meant by this. Yeah, here's one here. There's something. Why she distance from Willa seems okay.
Wall fire.
I just want to see a building.
It's blown out. Asked if anybody was in there.
Let's go South Tower Fall. Let's go look for the white debris. Oh, it's all about the white debris. Okay, so this is okay. I'll cover it for the next live stream. Just because the paper, someone was saying here that it wasn't paper. So I wrote this in let's see, paper. So someone commented saying that a fireball explosion may not have paper flying around, as they would be much smaller, not visible from far. And I need to determine the size of object. And here's great footage of the quote paper. It's over here. So this was actually someone mentioned it in my last live stream comment. So Colleen says at 231, I think that white papers aren't paper. The buildings are in the distance, and yet see what looks like paper. However, you wouldn't be able to see the paper in that distance. It would be very small. What if it isn't paper floating around in the smoke at all stages of the fire, but something else? Yeah, so it might not always be there. And I found some good footage of the paper. Which one was this one? AVI. Okay, I gotta find, this is WNBC helicopter. I have my notes, WNBC NIST 2. I think I have this. I'm gonna open this up quickly to show you the paper stuff. Originals, WNBC, okay, NBC, Chopper 4.
And as you
Yeah, okay, so
that apparently does look like it is.
So this stuff all floating, they're really, really big. So it's not necessarily, it's not paper. So they're floating and then they fall down.
That apparently does look like it is in the other building at this point.
Yeah.
They're telling us to back off.
Yeah, they're getting random messages. Alright guys, yeah, this is...
That
aluminum sheets, whatnot, but I think it was something like hovering above it, I think. Even aluminum wouldn't just float.
Yeah.
Okay, you have something floating, but again, it's far away, so you don't know how... It could be moving at decent... This one's floating.
That apparently does look like it is in the other building at this point.
Aluminum cladding over the exterior. Yeah, but I just gotta see if there's any floating around. Even that should just fall straight down. Something, yeah, they're not falling fast. These are little weird blinking stuff. But it's hard to grasp. There was some good ones earlier. Okay, I think the Scott Myers one was probably decent. Okay, I'm gonna go to the Scott Myers and then that's it. Last one, Scott Myers, and then we'll try to find it. But also, Black, if you could send me like specific footage and then like point out what I'm looking at, because I don't have like time to look at it. Watch listed UK 8 p.m. I'm UK. You don't have. Could be entered. Yeah, that's the thing. It could be something. Yeah. So here's some weird stuff there. That could be just the cladding. Yeah, some of this stuff here. This one, it may not be paper. That's the thing. Okay, I had this is stopped here, but the full Myers one goes more. And then there it is floating. But anyways, I will look at that later, and I'm losing focus. I don't know, guys. I'll have a look at the stuff there. Alright, guys. Thanks for joining. We've just powered through 1,000,000 hours, 3 hours, another one, 3 hours and 4 minutes. Alright, that's all. I'm
This was still a short one, man. Come on, we've got to break the 4-hour barrier.
Yeah, but no, I gotta get out. I'm gonna save this. Also, make sure to remind me to save that there. Yeah, I'm not breaking the 4-hour barrier. I think we only broke it when you did your presentation. All right, guys. Yeah, but yeah, thanks for joining 9/11 Revisionist.
Has everybody got a public holiday on Monday as well?
No, we had it yesterday. I mean,
But we've got a public holiday on Monday here in South Africa as well.
Oh, and we don't. I don't think we do. I think it's. I'm not sure how it works, but I think not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, thanks for joining, everyone.
Hey guys, everybody, have a good one.
Yeah. Yeah, and for sure, and like always, let's go to the thing. Send a bunch of cash to me and your boy 9/11 Revisionist.
Yeah, like a couple of gold bars, please.
Have a great Easter weekend. Have a great Easter weekend or transgender day weekend.
No, that's completely ridiculous. Oh, jeez.
All right, guys. Yeah, thanks, man. So generous. All right. Yeah, be good people. All right. Donate to MES. Let's go. Been out, but we'll catch start and replay. Yeah, for sure. That's live. Yeah, that was great. Kate Middleton stuff you had. Anyways, guys, that is all. I'm ending live stream in 3, 2, 1.
One.
And
Bye,
bye, guys. And.